Are live. So today, this is kind of impromptu. I had a little bit of free time, so I decided to jump in on a live stream, and I'm talking about Colombia today. And I'm probably in the future gonna have to figure something out because I want to talk about Colombia more. Obviously, you guys know I talk about it a lot, so I might dedicate one of my days to talk just about Colombia, or I might have maybe on Monday do kind of a miscellaneous, have that like the miscellaneous day where I talk about Colombia sometimes, and I'll talk about photography or something like that. So I haven't decided that yet. Saturday and Sunday are pretty much set. I'm going to keep them the same way. But I do want to talk about Colombia a little bit more because I have some experience with traveling to Colombia so much, and I think it would be good to just kind of put it out there and talk about my experiences and places that I've stayed and all that good stuff. So that's why I'm doing this today. This is kind of our trial run, and then if this goes well, then we'll continue doing more Colombia stuff. And then you guys let me know, like different places. I haven't been all over the world, but I've been to a lot of different destinations, and I think talking about those destinations is something that's valuable, and not just me talking, but other people too in the chat. We can all talk about our different experiences in different countries and things like that. So that's why we're talking about Colombia today. So I hope you guys like the show. I have, let's see, let me check a few things here, and then we'll get going. So I'm talking mainly about Medellin today. So my last trip to Medellin, where I stayed or not even my last trip, but just where to stay in Medellin. So let's say you go to Medellin, where would you stay? And I'll give you my two favorite spots to stay and why. I'll tell you the reasons why. And then we'll do some more Q&A, and we'll talk a little bit about just the experience of being in Colombia. So let's see who's in here. Okay. So Rican was in here. I don't know if he's still in here, but if you are still in here, what's going on, Rican? Cool dude, how you doing? And yeah, we'll talk about the black experience in Colombia. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see, what's going on, David? How you doing, buddy? Image Wire, what's going on? Fairfield, California, USA. All right. Let's see, Nika, what's going on? So Nika can give us some input as well because she just came back from Cartagena. So you can let me know if things were similar there. I've been to Cartagena as well. I really enjoyed Cartagena. The only thing I didn't like about Cartagena was it's a little hot, a little humid for me. I like 75, 80 degrees. That's kind of that's what I like. So, but definitely, Nika, chime in whenever you feel the need to, and let us know what your experience was like in Colombia, because this is your first, I think it was your first trip. So I'm sure you'll have some things. I remember my first trip, there were a lot of different things going on, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is this, like it's a little bit of culture shock, and being that was my first time ever leaving the country, in a sense that flying to another country. I've been on a lot of cruises, but cruises are that's not really being in another country to me, because I do the cruises because I live in Southern California, so we do the cruises to Ensenada and Cabo San Lucas and Mazatlan, that kind of cruise. But the areas that they stop you off in, it's all tourist areas. It's all it's Americanized. Okay, you don't have to know how to speak Spanish. You don't have to know anything. You just pretty much get out there and kind of do your little day trip for 7 hours, 8 hours, and then get back on the boat and go off to the next destination. So it's really not, it's not a real, you're not totally immersed in another country, which that's what I like about flying to another country as opposed to doing cruises. Let's see, Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? Let's see, HD chillin', how you doing? Okay, best places to eat in Medellin. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Maybe I'll do like a Google Street View and kind of just go through it, and I can name off a couple of places a couple places where I ate. I did a lot. It's kind of weird. When I was in Medellin this last time, I didn't do. Where did I eat? Like, there was a few restaurants where I ate that I thought were really good, like exceptional. And I did I did at least one video that I put out already, and there's another couple videos that I'll be putting out. But I did some street food, believe it or not. They had some really nice setups when it came to like the street vendors. It wasn't like when I was in Thailand, the street vendors were very, it didn't look appetizing, and it was a real small little setup that they had. Some of them were literally, it was like a motorcycle, and you have the little sidecar thing, and that sidecar thing was where they cooked the food and everything. So I mean, the sidecar was kind of high, so they would just ride that little motorcycle up to wherever they wanted to, you know, stop, and they'd stop it there, and then they'd start cooking, and they'd be serving the food right there. So in Colombia, though, in Medellin, they had some real nice setups where it was like something that they pulled in on, like a trailer, like they pulled in on a truck, and just stopped it there, and then they cook their food and all that stuff. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button. Let's try to get this up, get some more people in here. And every like counts, because it will bump us up in the algorithms. More people will see the video, and they'll jump in and join the party. Okay, so let's see. First thing that we should put on here. Let's move here. So we'll go here. No, we're not going to go there. We're going to go here first. Okay, if you guys have questions and things like that, please feel free to just open up and put it in the chat. Let me know the questions that you have. If you guys are new to the channel and you don't know about the Facebook group, please jump in there and join the Facebook group. We are up to, I think, about 30 people now, which is great. And the more people, the better, because the more experiences that we can share. And this is a great place for you, especially if you're new to traveling, or even if you travel for a long time. There might be different destinations that we bring up that you might not have thought of, or there might be a destination where you want to go. And if you put questions or comments in the Facebook group, then we can definitely answer those questions for you. And it's kind of like a live stream in the sense that, yeah, I'm talking today about Medellin, talking about where I stayed in Medellin and why I think it's a good place to stay, or a good reason to stay there. But in the Facebook group, it's better because it's kind of written there, and you can always revert back to it. You can always revert back to these videos, I understand, but these videos sometimes they get a little lengthy, and that's, yeah, I talk too much. But it's a lot easier to scroll through a Facebook post and find a link if you want to find a link to a different hotel or Airbnb or something like that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I should sell some merch in the future. Maybe we'll get some merch going. Okay. So first thing I want to look at here is Google Flights. So I always go to Google Flights, and I've talked about this in previous live streams. Anytime I'm looking to travel, I usually go into Google Flights first. And the reason that I do that is because I like their setup. Where is their map though? Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull the map up. I just wanted to show you guys kind of the reason why I like Google Maps or Google Flights, but I don't see the map here. Let me back out of this real quick. They have a map that you can pull up, and it will show you all of the different destinations. So say you're flying from Los Angeles, and you're interested in, why is this not working? I'm gonna have to back way out of this. So let's say you're traveling to wherever the destination is, and we'll just do it like this. So you click on the map, and Los Angeles, and so I don't have to even put a destination here. It's just Los Angeles. It knows I want to leave from Los Angeles. The beauty of this map is it's showing me all the different prices all over the US. And then if I want to go to Central America, South America, just move down, and it will start calculating all the different flights and how much they cost. So this is great because I'm a visual person, so I like to see things. So if I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, well, you know, if I want to go to Cartagena, it's going to be $408. If I want to go to Bogota, it's going to be $389. And then I can see some of the different destinations like Lima, Peru, $470. That's not too bad considering that it's a longer flight. You know, it's a further to travel, and then you can look all over in Brazil, all these different areas, and you can see how much everything costs. Now, not just, you can look anywhere on this map here. So I can move the map over, and let's say we want to go to Europe or we want to go to Africa. We can see all the different prices. Copenhagen, for whatever reasons, $386. London, $448. So you have some real good deals. And it's easy to just look at. Like I said, I'm visual, so I can see this and I can really narrow it down instead of going into each different destination and say, okay, well, I wonder how much it is to fly to London, or I wonder how much it is to fly here or fly there. You can just pull this map up and it'll give you all the information that you need. So this is my go-to. I always do this when I'm looking for flights. Johannesburg, $724. Cape Town, $828. So yeah, you have some really good deals. You can see San Juan. So you go to Puerto Rico, it's $311. So that's what I do. That's the first thing that I do is go here. Now, for Medellin, I think the lowest that I saw was 408 as well, but let's just pull it up here. Okay, yeah, that's not 408, and this is, let's move these dates up. I had it all set. So May 3rd, and let's say we want to do a weekend. So Cinco de Mayo, we want to go out and have a good time for that weekend. Come back on a Tuesday. So May 3rd to May 7th, and so yeah, this is the 405 that I was looking at. So it shows you all the different flights, and Avianca is one of them. I highly recommend considering flying either Copa or Avianca. They're both good airlines. I think Avianca is probably a better fit. I don't know exactly where they're flying to though. Let's see. Avianca, where are we going here? So Medellin to LAX. All right. Yeah, that's the return flight. Let's see. So LAX to Medellin. We're trying to look at the details here. Let's see. Pull this down. Okay, so you're going to El Salvador, and then from El Salvador, then you're going to Medellin. So your stop's in El Salvador. With Copa, your stop's probably going to be in Panama, since it's a Panamanian airline. Yeah, so you go to Panama on Copa, and this is a route that I took my recent trip. I went to Panama first, did a layover there, and then went to Medellin. So those are the flights. And you can see, I mean, and this is coming from Los Angeles. Now, if you're flying out of Florida, if you live on the East Coast, you can get really good deals. Like this $406 is nothing compared to what you can get if you live on the East Coast, or if you live in Florida, it's like 2.5 hours away. So that's a real quick flight there. It won't cost you that much. So that's what we have here. I always find this amusing. Let's see here. So we have the 3 flights, right? So you have Copa, you have Avianca, 2 good airlines. I mean, I would fly on either of those airlines. Then you have Spirit down here. Believe it or not, Spirit, $519. And then they have the little bag thing. Let's say the price of the flight does not include overhead bin access. So you have to pay a little extra, but you're paying $519. I do not understand that at all. That doesn't make any sense to me. Plus, the flight looks like looks like you have one stop but a long layover or something crazy. Often delayed 30 minutes. So it's interesting, but it gives you so much information. And then once you click on this, it will take you to, or usually I don't even click on this to take me to, I just go out and then go in. So in this case, I don't have to book with Avianca or Copa. I know that I can go on United and book with United and still get the same flight. So if I want to pay using my United Explorer card, I can do that, but just go to United to do it as opposed, because these are partners of United, so I already know that. Okay, so we've gotten that all the way. Next thing I want to look at is let's look at the area. Okay, so let's look at Medellin. So for those of you who don't know, Medellin is is not near anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a very developed city. Okay, so it's not. I mean, the infrastructure is there. You have all the amenities that you would have in the U.S. They don't skimp on anything. But you're not near any water set aside. The only water here is Guatapé. But as far as like ocean or anything like that, you're gonna have to take a long flight to get to the ocean. So I say long flight. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. But you're not near water. So just be aware of that. And that some people like water, right? So they want to be near, let's see, like Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla. So if you're up here, this is Cartagena. This is where Nika was. I was up here too for Carnival. So that same trip, I was up here first. I wanted to go to Santa Marta, but I didn't make it out there. But my next trip, I'm definitely going to go to Santa Marta. But yeah, I just want to kind of give you guys an idea. This is what it looks like. And Medellin is smack dab in the middle of Colombia. All right. So areas to consider staying. I was going to say Parquelletes. You don't want to stay too close to Parquelletes, but El Poblado is probably the most popular place for Americans or just tourists to stay. El Poblado is nice. It's a very busy area of Medellin, so you're going to have a lot of traffic, a lot of cars, taxis. You have a lot of hotels in that area, and the best nightlife is in Parquelletes. And when I say the best, I mean they have a lot of the nicest clubs in El Poblado. Okay, and so when I was in Medellin, I went to Parquelletes to go for my nightlife. But I also went to La Setenta, which I stayed close to La Setenta, which is another area where they have a lot of clubs as well. But El Poblado is just more for Americans, I guess you could say. So your first trip, I always recommend, if this is your first trip, stay in El Poblado first, because they cater more to Americans. People in Colombia, most people in Colombia don't speak English, and they might speak very little English. And if you ask them if they speak English, they're just going to tell you no, for the most part. You will have college students. People who go to college generally learn English. So people who go to college and then people who work like in tourism, some of them will speak English. But for the most part, the average person in Colombia, yeah, they don't speak English. So you do need to learn a little bit of Spanish, get that Google Translate going, and you'll be fine. Like, you can figure it out. And what I like about traveling to different countries is, especially like, I'm working on my Spanish. I'm continuing to work on my Spanish. But one of the things I like about going to Spanish-speaking countries is I can try out my Spanish, and I'm immersed in this whole environment. So I'm forced to use my Spanish. Whereas when I'm out here in California, I'm not forced to use Spanish, so I shy away from using it. All right. So El Poblado, this is the area here. And nice area, nice malls. They have Santa Fe Mall, here's a Santa Fe Mall here. And that mall they have a little picture of it here. That mall is, it's impressive. And there's another mall too. I can't remember the name of that mall, but this is the mall. This is their mall here. Now this right here, this top here, this retracts. So it's just like a football stadium. Like, this whole thing will retract and open up, so you can have, it's like an open air mall. And they have, Colombia is really known for flowers. So if you guys didn't realize that a lot of the flowers, roses and stuff like that that we have in the U.S., they're coming from Colombia. It's one of their biggest exports. So this is a really, I'm telling you, this mall is really nice. They still invest a lot of money into malls. Malls are a big thing in Colombia, whereas like we used to be all about the malls and stuff, and I think now we're kind of, we're really not doing the malls. I think Amazon is killing a lot of that business, but they still do a lot with the malls. They have the bands and stuff playing in the food court. I put a video out, a Colombia video out, where we were in the mall and I showed some stuff from the mall. I think I put that video out. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I put it out. I'm pretty sure I did. It was last year that I went. So, yeah, it's an impressive mall. Definitely something that you want to go down and see. Here's a top view here. And the food court is up at the very top, and then you can walk out, and they have like an area where you can walk out and look and see the whole city and everything. It's pretty impressive. Now they have another mall, and I can't remember the name of the mall. So if anyone does remember the name of the mall, just let me know. But just put it in the chat. But that mall has, like, I wanted to go there when I was in Medellin this last time, but I just lost. Like there was other stuff going on, and I kind of kept putting it to the back burner, and I didn't go. But that mall has a volleyball court. That mall has a soccer field, an amusement park for like not like a full-on amusement park, but like a smaller amusement park for kids. Yeah, it was, and I can't think of the name. If I could think of the name, I'd click on it, but I can't think of the name of the place. Central Commercial. No, that wasn't it. Okay. So first time in Medellin, I recommend staying in El Poblado. Okay. Now you're probably not going to, let's see here, move back. You're probably not going to, and let me just show you this too. See this area right here? So the kind of, off color, what color is that? Like beige, or I don't know what color that is. Like the off color here. You guys see I hope you guys can see what I'm seeing here. I'm kind of going around it. This whole area here, this is all the right near Parque Lleras. Okay, Parque Lleras is the little park. I will be putting out a video. I'm working on that video right now. I'm editing it. Nightlife in what did I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet, but Parque Lleras, nightlife there. Okay, so right where this park is, you have all the clubs. Okay, so you have the clubs, the bars, the restaurants. Everything is a center. Like Parque Lleras is the center point, or the central point of like the nightlife. Okay, so if you are staying in El Poblado, just be aware that if you're right near Parque Lleras, you're probably going to be up most of the night. Okay, maybe 4 or 5 in the morning at some point. They'll turn their music off, but it's a very loud area to be near. Okay, so I recommend if you do want to stay, you want to be within walking distance of Parque Lleras, because you don't want to have to take a cab there. That doesn't make any sense. That kind of defeats the purpose. But if you're maybe 2 or 3 blocks away from Parque Lleras, you're probably going to be in a good spot, because then you can just walk up to Parque Lleras. You're going to have restaurants and everything all around you. You don't have to take a cab to do it. I mean, you can literally just get an Airbnb or a hotel near Parque Lleras, not too close, but like 2 or 3 blocks away, and you don't have to ever take a cab. And the only time you need to take a cab is when you coming from the airport and going to the airport. But other than that, you're set, because everything that you would want, like everything that you would need, you have a grocery store that's right nearby. Let's see, grocery store is, where is that grocery store? And I'll show you. I can show you where I stayed. I think I actually did this in another video, now that I'm thinking about it. So you have the Éxito right here. Éxito is like a Walmart, or like, yeah, it's like a Walmart. But they have like if it's the big Éxito, they have the same setup as Walmart. So you have the biggest Éxitos where they have everything in there, clothes, and just like a super Walmart, or do they call it super Walmart? I don't know. The big Walmarts that have the groceries and all the other stuff. And then Éxito also has a smaller kind of I don't know if you guys are familiar with like a neighborhood Walmart. I don't know if they're all over the U.S., but they are in California. So we have neighborhood Walmart, which it's just pretty much just a grocery store. So it's a smaller Walmart kind of style, and you can go in there and get your groceries and all that. So Exitos are the same. They have some large ones, and then they have some smaller ones. This one actually looks like it's yeah, it's an express, so it's a smaller one. So you can go in here and get all your whatever you need, groceries and stuff like that. And I was looking for there's another grocery store. I don't see it right now. So it's a popular brand out there in Colombia, but I don't see it. So, and it's more of a higher end. It would be more like a Vons, Ralph's, or what have you. You know, it's just like Éxito is like a neighborhood Walmart, which a neighborhood Walmart is not like a full-on grocery store. Like they have a lot of stuff, but they don't have everything in there as far as groceries. Okay, so that should be your plan. Parquilletes, try to get close to Parquilletes, but you don't want to be right on top of it, because you will you will hear the music all night long. And so if you like that, if you're comfortable with that, then by all means go right ahead. But just be aware of that. It gets loud. There's a lot of traffic. Friday night, Saturday night, it's going to be packed. There's going to be people there all night. And usually on Sundays, things quiet down. You'll still have some stuff going on, but Sundays usually quiet down. Sundays more of the workout day and the day to go to church. So they kind of shut things down, and you will have stores and stuff like that that are closed on Sunday as well. Another thing too, this Toucan Cafe, they cater to Americans. So they have like, I think they still have like Spanish lessons. They have excursions, so tours and things like that. So if you are an American and you don't speak English, or you don't speak Spanish at all, you can go to Toucan Cafe. They will kind of walk you through the steps. Oh yeah, we can do this tour for you, that tour for you. So they have a lot of stuff that's catered to Americans. So just keep that in mind as well. And when we were there last year, not this year, last year we stayed, let's see here. I think it was Carrera. Let's see. Not seeing all my streets. Okay, this is where we stayed, right here. So we were right here, and we were far enough away. So Parquilletes is here. We were 2 blocks away, almost 3 blocks away, and we were staying. And I'm going to be honest with you. When we first pulled up, and this was an Airbnb. When we first pulled up, I was like, "Oh, what? I don't want. What is this? This is crazy." So I'm looking on this side. I did my research. My buddy booked the Airbnb, so I was doing research, and I'm trying to find out where the place was. I was like, "Oh, maybe it looks like it's one of these. It's either this one or that one." I'm thinking, "Okay, well, that should be okay." But it was this over here, which I never would have guessed. But right above, we were right here. This was our Airbnb right here. So it looks like it is like an. I'm pretty sure it's like an off. They had a kitchen and everything set up, so maybe they redid it, like remodeled everything on the inside. But it does look more like an office building. But yeah, that's where we stayed, and it worked out well. I mean, there's let's see, move right here. So you had an entrance here. You had your own key to get in this door here, and then you go up, and then you had another key to get into your apartment. So it was a pretty secure place. And then you had an ice cream place right down here, and then you had a bakery right here, and then they had something else over here, coffee shop or something like that. So it was a nice little place. And there wasn't much traffic because this is a dead end here, okay? So the only traffic that you would get are people coming in to either go to the ice cream place or go across the street to this pizza place, which this pizza place was pretty good. So that's the only traffic that you got. Excuse me, the only traffic that you got. Plus you had a couple of restaurants here too. So you had a couple of restaurants. I think one was a French restaurant and then an Italian restaurant right there. But I'm telling you, we were in a great spot because all we needed to do is walk, come down here. This is the major thoroughfare here. And then they had the if I wanted to go to the grocery store, can we go fast? Yeah, so we go to the grocery store right here. So this is the grocery store that I was talking about, and this is a kind of I don't know how to say that name. Where is it? Yeah, Karua or something like that. So we'd go to that grocery store, and that was like the it's more of it is a grocery store. Like they have everything. Where Exitos don't like their fruits and vegetables and stuff are not as good. It's kind of like the neighborhood Walmart. The groceries, the fruits and stuff generally aren't that good. Okay, so it was my experience. That's where I stayed. So you do want to kind of stay in this area here by Parque Yetis if you can. Now I will show you one other little spot. I have not stayed here, so I just want to show you it because it exists and people do talk about staying here. So Envigado. So Envigado is another place here that's very popular for people to stay in. It's another popular destination. It's not so big on like, you don't have that many tourists there, but it's still a place where it's a nice place where you can stay. So you probably are going to be in an Airbnb here. So Airbnb here or an Airbnb in Laureles, where we'll talk about that one in a second. I have not stayed here. In the future, I want to stay here just to see how it is. But I think from what I was told, you have El Poblado. That's where most of the Americans go. So that's more tailored toward Americans. And then you have Laureles. Less Americans go there, but they still cater to Americans. And then you have Envigado, which is kind of the third. So it's even more locals and less Americans there. Okay, so, but I just kind of wanted to show you the distance between. So you have Envigado here, you have El Poblado here, and then where I stayed the last time that I was in, or this last month, I stayed up here. So this is Laureles, the Laureles area. Now, the university's right here, and Laureles is a really nice area. One of the real good things about Laureles is everything is flat, so you don't have to worry about going up and down hills. You will have to go up and down hills in El Poblado because there are just a lot of hills there, and in the richer area of El Poblado, because I was showing you Parque Yetis, which is kind of the central area. But as you move out a little bit in El Poblado, even like the richer areas, you're going to have to walk up even steeper hills because it's pretty much a hill, and then you're like hills, and you'll have the high-rise like condos there. Okay, so you have the college right here. You have the college, and then you have, let's see, La Setenta right here. So this street right here is the major thoroughfare. Okay, this is where all the restaurants and the casinos, they do have casinos there. And so the restaurants and the bars and the nightlife, everything is right here. And it goes all the way up to the metro station. So we have a metro station that's coming up here. So Calle 47, you have a metro station right here. So this is the metro station. So this whole street right here is where all the clubs are, and there are a lot. There are a lot of clubs and restaurants and everything. So it's definitely a good place for. Another thing I didn't talk about either is money. Okay, so money's an important thing, right? So El Poblado, you're gonna pay a little bit more. Okay, it's a little higher end. It's more popular for Americans, so you're gonna pay those gringo prices. You still will pay gringo prices in Laureles, but Laureles is cheaper. Okay, for example, and I didn't pick the Airbnb in El Poblado, but we were paying $130 a night, and it wasn't like a special time period or anything, and that's very expensive. And if I would have known that now, like if I would have known what I know now, we paid way too much for what we got. Now it was a 2-bedroom, it was 2 levels, So it was a decent spot, but just to compare that to where I stayed this last time, I paid $29 a night, and it was a nice place. It was an apartment. I have a video on it. I showed that video. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I do have the video. I'll put the link up, so or not put the link up. I'll show you a little bit of the video so you guys can see on the inside, but I'll do that in a second. So this is where all your clubs are and your restaurants, and so it was the perfect setup. And when I go back in August, I'm going back to Laureles. I'm going to stay there again. What I like about Laureles is you have the nightlife and everything, but it's a lot quieter. Not a lot. I mean, you do have traffic, okay, but it's not as hectic as being in El Poblado and by Parque Yetis. It's just traffic after traffic. You can't even cross the street. There's so much traffic, and so that I didn't like about El Poblado. But Laureles is a little different. You have more. It's the traffic isn't as bad. Plus, it's all flat, like I said. And it's a biking community. They even have the little bikes, those bikes that you can, I don't know, city bikes where you just get on them and you pay through your app or whatever, and then you can take the bike wherever. So they even have those, which is nice. Okay, so let's see if I can find the outside of that hotel here, or not the hotel, the apartment. Now they do have hotels, and I will go to the hotels just so you can kind of see the prices. They don't have any in Laureles. You're not going to find a Hilton or anything like that. They don't have the big hotels. They have like the smaller mom and pop hotels, but it works. I mean, it's fine. Like I don't need all that in this area. Like it's fine to just either do Airbnb, like an apartment, or do the. I'm looking for where I was staying. I can't find it. Yeah, I'm fine with doing the Airbnb or doing the Airbnb. I don't even know where I was going with that. Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to find my place. Okay, San Peter Hotel, or not hotel, apartment. So this is where I stayed, and you see it's showing there $38. And I think what people did, there's a lot of people that just bought these apartments and they're just renting them out as Airbnbs. And you see, like on Booking.com, Expedia, people are renting out their apartments. I was trying to see if maybe they had a picture of the front. What I really like about this place is it's a high rise, so I think it's like a 15-story building, and so you'll have access to. I mean, you can get a high floor, which I like getting high floors because I want to be able to look out and see the city and then take pictures of the city and do time lapse and all that good stuff. So this is the San Peter Apartments, and it's right off La Setenta. So it's not on the major thoroughfare here. La Setenta is right here where this white car is. That's where La Setenta is. Okay, so with this, you have a restaurant right here. So it's a little like sports bar right here, and then you have another restaurant right here. So you have two restaurants that are inside of the apartment. The food here, I didn't eat in this place here, but the food here, it was okay. It's good if you how can I say, if you're in a jam and you need to just get something to eat real quick, then yeah, go for that. But for the most part, I would go out. You're right here. There's a restaurant here. I didn't go to this one either. But if you come out to the major street here, this is La Setenta right here. And I will be editing a video and putting it up on YouTube about Laureles as well, so you guys can see that one. Yeah, this is a restaurant and kind of a bar. So later on at night they had a bar going there. Let's see, and just going to kind of give you just a little feel. Now you see this bike lane here. They have dedicated bike lanes there. Like they're really serious about cycling. On Sundays and on Thursdays, they shut down part of the streets or part of the city, and you can ride your bikes around, and you'll see people like in pack. Like I saw this once where they just had them all in a pack, and you had cars, like lead cars and cars trail, like cars in the back, and then you have all these people on bikes, and there was probably 50 or 60 people on bikes, and they're just riding through the city. And so it's safe because they have the cars blocking everyone, so you can't get cars in between, and people just all ride their bikes. So it was pretty interesting. Okay, so yeah, so we walk here, and I just want to kind of show you how far the Éxito was from me. So, and this is, I don't know, not even half a mile, but Éxito's right here. So this was the grocery store. I could go here. Well, yeah, I can go here, get all my groceries and all that stuff. So everything is very close. Like, you didn't have to walk very far. And then you had all the line of restaurants that are all around here. And you can go back towards, this is going back toward the university. And I didn't actually go into the university. I walked. I don't even know if I could get in the university. I think they said that you needed something to get. You couldn't just walk in there. But they have a row of. I mean, this on both sides of the street. You're going to have clubs and stuff like that. I went to this place here, this Pollo Crispy, and it's just like fried chicken. One of the things I noticed, and this is not the first time that I've seen this, but in Colombia, when you go, they have like fried chicken, but they like putting honey on the fried chicken, which is actually good. And I guess we have it here. Like, we used to have, like, I just remember KFC's honey barbecue wings and all that good stuff. So they put just honey. So they'll put honey on the wings, and they'll give you like these gloves, like, you know, the little the cheap gloves, like the throwaway gloves, which I guess, yeah, the throwaway gloves. So they give you those, and then you can put the honey over it and eat it. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. And I've seen it. I went to another restaurant or another place that was very similar to that, where they had that, like, they give you the little gloves and they give you honey. You can put the honey over the chicken. Okay, so let's look. I want to look at, or I want to show you guys just the different prices. So, like I said, where I stayed, $29 a night, and that was Airbnb. And obviously, you see that you can even rent them out through Booking.com and stuff like that. So this is the area here. If you guys have questions or anything like that, yeah, Frisbee Fried Chicken. That's the place that I went. One of the places that I went to that has that, but very similar. Let's see. Can I zoom in? All right. So this is Laureles, and we'll just show you real quick. I just want to show you some of the prices, and then we'll jump back to El Poblado. This thing is slow. All right, let's pull out here. Okay, move over a little bit. All right, so this is your area here. Now, my advice, as far as if you want to be right on 70th Street, so if you want to be right on La Setenta, you're gonna hear noise. You're gonna hear music all night long. I was right near, like I showed you where I was, like right on La Setenta, right? Like right off the street, and I was in a high rise, and that music was going on until 3 or 4 in the morning. Not every night, I'm sorry. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, was it Monday too? When did I leave? Yeah, Sunday. So I left on Monday. So Sunday night, it was still going on until like 2 in the morning. So you just be aware of that. So if that's something that bothers you, loud music, then you might want to stay a little bit away. So you can still stay in this area, but kind of move back a couple blocks. You can also get some cheaper Airbnbs if you do that. But in my case, I like being there. Like, it was fine to me. It didn't bother me. I was up that late pretty much every night anyway. And I'm a pretty hard sleeper, so I can still go to sleep. Okay, so that's what we have here, and these aren't all in order. Okay, so this is one of the Airbnbs. I believe this is San Peter here. Let me take a look at it real quick. So this one's a little more expensive. Yeah, this looks like San Peter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So this is just someone else that's renting out their Airbnb. This is actually a nicer looking one than mine. It's better designed. So, and like I said, I will be renting another one of these. So I'm looking to see. Yeah, this is a nice one. Yeah, we might have to book that right when I get off here. Yeah, their design is a lot better. And I'm also looking for a different view too. I don't want to have the same view. That way I can do some more time lapse and stuff with a different view. So this is on the 16th floor. Some of these floors, and it's a one bedroom. We have that mirror right there. Wow. Some of these floors in the apartment are like they have the noise canceling windows and all that good stuff. So you might not hear as much going on downstairs. But yeah, it does get pretty loud though. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to show you that. So we just wanted to look kind of at the prices. This is your price. This is the price range. This is the popular area, right? So this is where you would want to be, at least near this area somewhere. Okay, so we can compare that, and we'll compare Airbnbs first. We'll just pop out of here and then go over to El Poblado and see what the prices are for those. Let's see. Yeah, but when it comes to Medellin, you can't go wrong staying in either spot. You'll have a good time in either, and you can go back and forth. Like you can go to Parque Yetis for the night, go do the nightlife, and then come home or go back to Laureles. Laureles will be a little less busy, so if you like that kind of stuff, then that'll probably work better for you. And you see the prices. So Airbnb, the prices are pretty much the same. They're not really that much more expensive. And like I said, that's why like we totally got robbed. I mean, we paid $130. Yeah, we got taken. But we didn't know any better. And for an American, just staying somewhere, $130 for a hotel room is really not much. Like, I mean, that's in my mind, that's the way I'm thinking, not knowing that a lot of these Airbnbs and hotels are less than that. So like this one's, what is this, $100? But I mean, you're getting that. You have the jacuzzi in the room and all that good stuff. Which we did have a jacuzzi too. I guess I should have mentioned that. So we had, it was 2 floors. We had a jacuzzi. We had some stuff in there. So yeah, we paid for it. But yeah, so this is the prices aren't that bad. They really aren't. And you want to be around Parque Yetis. You don't want to be like right in there. So I think like this would be a good one here. So you have stuff that's in the area, but not like right on top. And let's look at Envigado, Envigado real quick. I'm getting over a cold right now. That's why I'm coughing. And let's see. Let's move down a little bit. Envigado. See if we have anything good over there. Okay. I think Envigado's right here. Here, Envigado down here. So here's Envigado. Now you're probably not going to have as many places in Envigado just because, and actually the prices look a little more expensive. But they're probably nicer, big apartments because this is more of a suburban area. Like, I mean, the suburbs. It's not a big city kind of feel. Yeah. I just lost it. Where did it go? I don't know how I bounced over there. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's zoom in this real quick, and then I'm going to jump to questions. So if you guys have any questions or anything, you can post them now. And yeah, so you don't have very many to choose from, but you do see you got 11 here, 12 here, 10 here, 16, 48, 15. So yeah, the prices do look like they're a little bit less in Envigado. So that's another place to consider. This is a zona area, so this is where they have a lot of the restaurants and stuff in Envigado. So you can kind of plan your stay by doing that. $8, that has to be like a room or something. Another thing with me, I never do, if I'm doing an Airbnb, I never do the rooms. I always want an entire place. So if it's an apartment, even if it's a 1-bedroom, I want the whole place. I don't want to have to like go into like a room, like have my own room, but then have like common areas and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not big on that. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at I think I have hotels.com up real quick. So we'll just pull that up really quickly here. And you know what? It doesn't show the prices. You have to click on them. All right, you guys get the point. I don't want to. You guys can check out hotels.com. Don't book on hotels.com though. Book on wherever that hotel is. Go directly to the hotel and book. I was just trying to see if you could see the prices, but you can't, and I don't like that. I just want to be able to kind of scan through them. But you see all these different little hotels. Now you're not going to find a Hyatt, or you're not going to find a Hyatt Pier, but you're not going to find a Hilton, you're not going to find a Marriott or anything right near Parque Yetis. You're going to find those, they're going to be down the street. Let's see, there should be. Estelar this hotel is a popular hotel in Colombia. So it's kind of like it would be like a Marriott. Holiday Inn Express. So you'll find them down the street, and this is more of the business district, the business area, where you'll have some of the larger banks and things like that. They'll be all in that area. Now that area is not very. You're not going to have a lot of clubs and stuff right there. You're just going to have the big hotels, and then I think across the street is where Santa Fe Mall is. Like Santa Fe Mall is near there, so you'll have that, but you're not going to have a lot of the clubs and stuff like that. Okay, you still have to go back up to Parque Yetis, and it's. I mean, you can walk there, but it's probably about a 10-minute walk if you take a cab, and it's obviously 2 or 3 minutes. Not 2, but 3, maybe 3-4 minutes to take a cab. And there's a lot of traffic there too, so just be aware of that. All right, so let me show you. Let me just show you. I'm not going to show you the whole video. You guys can check it out, the whole video, but I just want to show you the just kind of the hotel. I'm sorry, the apartment that I stayed in. If you didn't catch this video, so all right. Okay, we can skip me talking.
In this view. Oh my God, this view is amazing. And the window opens all the way up. Check this out.
Okay, so yeah, that was my view out of the hotel, or the hotel. I keep saying hotel. My view out of the Airbnb. Really nice view. The only thing I didn't like is I couldn't see the sunset, which I know I'm asking too much, but for photography, it would have been great if I had a sunset, because I could do like a time lapse of the sunset, but I wasn't able to. So the area, I mean, you had this little area here. It's very small though. It's not like usually in the U.S., a 1-bedroom, you still have more space. You don't have a lot of space in there. It is very, very tight. So you have just a little sitting area, and you can watch TV. Then you have a very small little kitchen area. Then you have, it looks like it's freezing up on us. And then you have the washer dryer there, a small little fridge. And yeah, so you don't have much, but it's perfect for someone who's traveling because you have the washer dryer, and it's more space than you would have in a hotel. So that's what I like. And it was $29 a night. So it's almost, I mean, that's unbeatable when it comes to what you're getting for the time. Yeah, I see it skipping around a lot. I just wanted to, we'll wait until the bedroom, until they show the bedroom, and then we'll close this out, close this video off. But yeah, so it was good. It was good. I really like staying there. And I definitely recommend staying in the Laureles area. You'll have a lot more. It'll be a lot. It won't be a lot quieter, but it's quieter, and you're a little bit away from everything. So yeah, the bathroom here. They had it done up nice. They have like a shower. It's like the shower. The shower heads up at the top of the ceiling, which is cool. And then you have the bedroom. So nice little bedroom. Nice view out the window. It has a shade that will come all the way down, so you can sleep during the day if you wanted to close it all the way down. So that's good. And a lot of the buildings you're going to see, they're all brick. So Colombia, Medellin specifically, they have a lot of these brick homes like this. Although I think they do have earthquakes still. I know I felt an earthquake when I was in Barranquilla. And I know there was an earthquake in Cali last week, because one of the guys in our travel group is living in Cali right now, and he was telling us, yeah, there was an earthquake. That was the first earthquake that he ever felt, because he lives on the East Coast. Okay, so let's get out of this. All right, let's jump to the chat, see what's going on, see what you guys are talking about. If you guys have any questions, I can talk about that. Let's see, start from the top and work our way down here. Okay, I think I said hello to Jeremy, but if I didn't, hello Jeremy. Cool dude, I know I said hello to you. Okay, let's see. I left, but I'm back now. Where is the most scenic place to visit in Colombia? So the most scenic, I can't speak for all of Colombia because I haven't been everywhere in Colombia, but you have some really nice lookouts in. Let's see if I can pull this map up here. You have a lot of nice lookouts in Medellin. We'll talk about Medellin first, and then I'll talk about Cartagena, because those are the two that I've been to the most. But the way it's situated, the way Medellin is situated, is it's in a valley, and then it goes up, and when you go up the valley, you can take roads, and I don't know exactly where they are, honestly, because we had a guy that was taking us around, not this trip, but the last trip I went last year. We had a guy that was just taking us everywhere, and he was taking us to all the spots, and he would take us up. All I remember it was by this by a market. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. If I'm gonna hit him up, the guy that was driving, because he's a friend of mine, or a friend of mine now, and see if he can tell me. But it's like they have these lookouts, and you can go up to the lookout and you can just see the whole city, and you can take pictures and all that good stuff. He took us to a few of those spots where you can just see the whole city. So those are your nice. Those are the places where you want to go to take pictures, or just that's scenic. Okay, you see the whole skyline, so that's nice. You also have Guatapé, which Guatapé is about an hour outside of Colombia, or outside of Medellin. And in Guatapé, you have it's El Piñón. It's like a rock out there, and people travel to Guatapé to go climb the rock, and I did it when I was there. It was tough, but I got up there. I'm trying to find it on the map. I don't see it. But yeah, Guatapé, here it is here. Guatapé, and I'll pull it up so you guys can see. Guatapé is nice. It's a nice place to take pictures as well, especially if you can get up on that rock. If you do walk up to the top of the rock, you have it's a lookout, and you can see just the whole city. Not the city, actually. You see part of the city on one side, and then the other side you're just going to see all of the lake. So remember I told you, like, there's no real water. The only real water close to Medellin, the closest to Medellin, is in Guatapé. So you have this nice scenery out here. This is from the top of the rock, and then you have, and here's the rock here. So people get up on this and they climb all the way up to the top of this rock. Yeah, I did it. I probably stopped like 10 times, but I made it up there. It's nice. And then you have the little town. And I want to go back and take pictures of the town at night. I was there during the day, and this would be an amazing shot at night, where you have these little small little streets. It's like only one car can fit at a time. It would be an amazing night photography, and it's very colorful. They have like these areas here where it's just all these apartments or homes. They're all colorful, and that's one thing I love. Like, I love color. When I take pictures, I love color, like saturated colors. And when you're in Colombia, they have all this, like, it's like a Caribbean vibe. So you have all these colors, these really nice colors. And the thing that's really crazy is you'll go to some parts, like when we were in Guatapé, we walked around the city, and everyone is so proud of like their homes. Even if it's a small little house, they do it all up with paint, and it's very colorful. Like, it's amazing. We also went to this church here. We went to this church. Actually, we were there at night, so we got here and there was no one here. I took a picture of this. I think I posted a picture on my regular Facebook page. I need to start. You know what? I'll find that picture and I'll post it so you guys can see it. I'll post it in the Facebook group. So if you guys have not joined the Facebook group, jump in the Facebook group. Let me put a link here so you guys can go over there. Just join the Facebook group and we will accept you in. And we're going to be we're already talking about travel and all that stuff. So if you have questions, or if you just want to kind of see what's going on and where we're traveling to and stuff like that, then definitely jump in there. And I don't know all the specifics here, so I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give out wrong information. But there was a city, or there is a city that's underneath the dam, or this water here. It's like it was a dam, and I don't know if they opened it up. I don't know exactly what transpired, but it actually covered up a city. So there is a city that's underneath the water at some point somewhere. In this area. They were telling us the story. The guy that was driving us was telling us the story, but I kind of forgot, so I don't want to give out wrong information. But look it up, look into it. Guatapé, this area here, yeah, there's a city under the water somewhere, and they rebuilt the city. And I think this church was one of the like the original churches underwater, and then they rebuilt the church here or something like that. Okay, let's see. So, to answer your question, yes, there are plenty of places to take pictures in Medellin. One thing I do like about Medellin as well is you have a lot of this greenery everywhere, and it's a very nice. It's very tropical. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to Hawaii, like Kauai especially. You go to Kauai, it's green. There's greenery everywhere. It's like where they filmed Jurassic Park and movies like that, because there's just so much greenery. It's like you're in the forest. So, all right, let's see. What other questions do we have here? And Nika, tell us about your trip. Tell us what you did, and if you enjoyed your trip, if you're still in the chat. All right. Oh, live stream. Hi everyone. What's going on, that guy? Maine, how you doing? Let's see. World of Walker, how you doing? We were just talking about Spirit earlier. You missed it. Let's see. Rules. So frisbee fries and chicken. Yeah. I went there. I went there once. That place is all right. It's okay. It's funny in Colombia, or I'll talk about Medellin specifically. They have the fried chicken. That's kind of a thing that they really like. When I say that, I mean, like, in the U.S., fried chicken, like, it's here. You have KFC, and you have, God, give me another one. Church's, Popeyes. So you have, like, that's kind of there, right, or here. But in Colombia, yeah, they have, like, that frisbee place, and the pollo crispy. So they do have, like, the fried chicken there, as well as they have pizza. Pizza's really big in Medellin. So you'll have, like, the regular kind of pizza shops, and then you'll have the high-end pizza places that are a little more, you know, sit-down restaurant, kind of like a, well, California Pizza Kitchen. If you guys live in California, you know what I'm talking about. But kind of like that, where it's a sit-down place. It's a restaurant, and they have little higher-end pizza, I guess you can call it. And what else do they have as far as food? I know someone asked a question about food. You have traditional Colombian dishes. Bandeja paisa is like the traditional dish. It's okay. I'm not a real big fan of it. I've had it a few different ways. And basically it's just a lot of food. And they have the big chicharrón, the big pork fat, which I don't really like. So, and that's kind of like a big part of the meal. So let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, it's a big part of the meal, so I'm not that big of a fan, but you have the beans and the rice, and you have other stuff too. It's not bad, but it's like that's a very common meal in Colombia. Not, I shouldn't say common. That is a traditional Colombian meal, and they usually eat it at lunch. Colombians don't eat a lot of dinner, so we kind of do it the opposite. In the U.S., we kind of eat breakfast is usually not that much for the most part. And then you'll eat lunch. You'll eat like a quick lunch when you're working or whatever, and then you come home and then you eat a dinner, and your dinner's probably your largest meal. In Colombia, it's a little different. They eat a big breakfast, or they'll eat like a bandeja paisa for lunch, but you don't eat bandeja paisa for dinner. It's just too much food. So let me open this up so you guys can see this. So yeah, so here these are all different types of bandeja paisa. I shouldn't even say types. Usually you're going to have some of the main staples. You're going to have avocado. You're going to have a fried egg. You're going to have sausage, plantain, arepas, rice, and this is the chicharrón here, the pig fat, and this is a small one. Like I have it on my phone, so I can't pull it up now, but the one I had, it was a whole, like, it was ridiculous how big that thing was. But it's all like pig fat, and it has like a little bit of like pork on it, but for the most part, it's just pig fat. So you see there's a variety of different variations of this. I had something really good when I went to Bogota. When we went to Bogota, this is my first trip to Colombia, and that was like back in 2008. So we went there. We went out to the salt mines, and they have a salt mine out there. You can take pictures and stuff. There's a church that's built into this salt mine. And so on our way back, the guy that was driving us, he stopped at this place. We told him, hey, just take us. We want traditional, like a traditional meal. So he took us to this place, and we got out and we ate, and it was good. It was really good. And I have, I lose track of the videos that I put out, but I believe I did a video. I put a video out on that. I'll have to look to see if I have it, and I'll post some of these videos in the Facebook chat or the Facebook group, because I don't want to take too much time to look for it right now. But I'll post it in the Facebook group so you guys can see it. But this food and basically what it was is we just ordered this big platter, like a big platter of meat, and then there were other things in there as well. But it was good. And the platter, it was 3 of us, or actually it was 4 of us, because he ate with us. And they just bring out this big platter of meat. And when you walk up, they had the meat like cooking on I won't even call it it wasn't a grill. It was basically, they had these big skewers, and they had the meat, and we're talking like big pieces of like meat that were on these skewers, and they just leaned it up against the wall, and then they had the fire going, and it was, it was cooking the meat, and that food was excellent. I even tried they had the blood sausage, which was good. Like I never thought I'd ever eat blood sausage. I don't like blood. Like I can't even eat steak. Like I don't eat steak, but if I do eat steak, it has to be well done. I can't see any blood or anything like that. But blood sausage it's cooked all the way. Like you don't see the blood. Like it just looks like a black sausage. But it wasn't bad. So that was a really good meal. And I don't know if that's like really true. I mean, I would think it's traditional Colombian food. But yeah, they just bring out this big platter of meat and a variety of different things in there, and you just you have your plate, you just take what you want, and it's kind of like a Brazilian style, like a steakhouse kind of thing. And I don't even remember how much you paid for that. It was a while ago, so yeah, I don't remember how much we paid for it. But yeah, it was good. Other food in Colombia. They do have a lot of fish. If you are living in, or not living, if you're staying in like Cartagena, you're staying in the coastal areas, Barranquilla, even if you're staying in Medellin, like I went to a really nice fish restaurant there, and I did a review on that too. It's on YouTube, or it's on here, I guess. I'm on YouTube right now. But they have some really good fish there. And in Cartagena, they have some real nice spots where you can sit right out by the water. They have a real popular place. I can't think of the name right now, but it's in the walled city. You can't miss it. Like if you go into the walled city, you'll see it's out right on the wall, right on the street, so you can see up. Oh, because like the wall, you can walk up the wall and you're elevated, and you can look down. The water's there, and you can watch the sunset and all that. So it's pretty nice. Very romantic if you were to take a date there. It'd be nice. Okay, let's go back here. Any other questions? Let's see, let's go through here. Just one off-topic question. Is there a way, website design to sell credit card points, Chase? I don't know. To sell them? I don't know. I don't have any information on that. Maybe someone else might. Let's see, man, do you have a bunch of points you're trying to unload? I know you can gift them to people, but I don't know about selling them. Let's see. Okay, sell points somehow. In case customers had the account hacked. Okay, so let's move forward. I just lost my place again. I want to climb that mountain. Nigga's saying, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's worth it once you get to the top, but it's not. Well, for me, it wasn't easy. And me and my buddy, it was work to get up there. But once you get to the top, yeah, it's definitely worth it. And I wouldn't have gone up it if the guy that was taking us around, if he didn't push me, and tell me, oh, come on, it's easy, I'll go with you, it'll be easy. Yeah. So then I was just like, okay, let's see, man, I got it. Okay, so if you have questions specifically for me, just put TEC or put David. My name is David, so you can put that, and I'll see if I can answer your questions here. I don't want to miss anybody. What's going on, Raven? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, tell us about your experience, Raven, since you're in here, if you're still in here. It's funny, I'll tell this story. So Raven's in our Colombia advisory travel group, and so I don't think Raven, did you go? I don't think Raven went to Barranquilla. So I went to Barranquilla for 4 days, and then I came to Medellin. I stayed in Medellin for 5 days. And so the funny thing is, we were there. I don't know. I think I was there first, and then he came in a couple of days later. And so my whole plan when I went to Medellin was just to kind of relax. I didn't want to do a whole lot after being just 4 days in Barranquilla, partying every night. I kind of just wanted to have a vacation from that. And so my whole goal was to just kind of relax. And so I wasn't doing much. The first couple of days, I didn't do much at all. I pretty much just hung out and I went and shot a couple videos and things like that. But I wasn't doing anything crazy. But the funny thing is, I knew he was there, and you know, hey, we need to hook up and go hang out and go do this, go do that. And so I asked, so I was asking him, so where, and at this time, I still didn't really know where I was. I knew I was in Laureles. He was in Laureles, but I didn't know exactly where I was. Like, if you said, well, what street are you on? I kind of knew, okay, I'm on La Setenta, right off 70th Street, but I didn't know exactly where I was. So I just told him, yeah, I'm in a high rise, and you know, I'm on the street, and I'm in a high rise. I'm like in one of the highest buildings that I see in the area. And so he's like, oh, okay. And so the day that we were gonna meet up, and you guys, if you guys are in here right now, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get up to 30 likes this time. I want to get to, I'd like to get to 50, but let's hit 30 this time. Usually we're right around 30 every video I put out. So let's see if we can get to 30. So if you're in here, hit the like button. It'll also bring more people in. So that would help the channel a lot, please. Thank you. If you're new here too, hit the subscribe button. So we were gonna meet up that night, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm in one of the highest buildings. I'm like on the 12th floor, and he was like, oh yeah, you know what? We're in a high building, like a high-rise building as well. And so I'm looking down the street, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is the highest. I see a few others, like ours is like 15 or 16 stories. I see some other buildings, they're like maybe 7 stories or 10 stories. They're not really that big. So, we end up chatting on, you know, we kept chatting back and forth, and I think I put it out there or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the San Peter Hotel or San Peter Apartments. He was like, oh, we're at the same apartment. So we were in the same apartment, you know, the same apartment complex, and didn't realize it. We were there for like 2 days and didn't realize it. And so we did meet up that night. But that's a very popular place on Airbnb. So if you're booking an Airbnb, you're going to see a lot of them coming up, because I think the whole building, people just bought out these places. And I think what they did is you buy the place, and then you just have people that are managing it. Like there's like one person or a few people that manage all these different Airbnbs. I think that's how they work it. Because the guy, like the go-to, anytime I had an issue or anything like that, and I didn't have very many, but like if I would call and say, hey, internet's not working, I'm talking to the same guy that everyone else is talking to. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty fun. Pretty funny to find out that we're in the same place. Nika, I love Cartagena. All right. I went to the mud volcano. You went to the mud volcano. All right. You should have like video of that or something. So I have not gone to this. So they have a volcano in Cartagena, and I want to go next time. I wouldn't have gone before, but now I want to go because Ace, this is Ace Live. He had a video. He showed a video of it, and some of the guys went. I had a chance to go, but I didn't think it was because we were in Barranquilla. So to go to Cartagena, it's about an hour and 45-minute drive. And so I just said, you know what, I'll stay here. But yeah, they went down there, and it looks pretty fun. But you have people, and I don't know, Nika, how you felt about it, because I saw how they were doing it. But I guess you like pay these people, and they like rub mud all on you. So you're laying in this mud, and it's supposed to be good for your health or good for your skin or whatever. And they're just like rubbing mud on you, and they're getting all in there too, like rubbing it all in your, you know, just rubbing all on you. So, but I want to do it because it does look fun, believe it or not. But in the past, like I saw that as an excursion. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna waste money going to a mud volcano thing. Let's see. And the Pink Sea. So you went to Pink Sea too? Let's see. I went to Plaque, the town. We freed Africans live. Okay. Wow, you went to places that I didn't even know were in the area. Like the Pink Sea, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't do much research when I went to Cartagena. My second trip, I was there for 5 days. The first trip, I was there for I think another 5 days, 5 or 6 days. But we pretty much just hung out in the walled city, and I don't even think, did we do an excursion? We did one excursion. That was like the city tour where they take you on this double-decker bus. And no, we did two excursions. One where you take you on a double-decker bus and they drive you around and talk about the whole city. And then the other one was, actually I did 3 excursions. And then the other one was a Roomba. So they have these buses. They're like party buses. And it's a bus, but it's like a tour bus. So there are no windows or anything like that, so you just kind of jump in, and it's like safari, kind of like that, like a safari bus where you jump in, you can see outside and everything. So you get in there, and they have a live band that's in there, and they're playing, and they're passing around alcohol, and you're drinking, and by the time you're done, and they take you around the whole city, and they give you kind of a tour of the city, and they take you to a few different stops, and by the time you're done, they drop you off at a club. They drop you off at a couple of clubs, but they'll drop you off at the last club, and then you either can jump back on the bus if you want and go home. Like they stay there for about an hour, and then you can jump back on the bus, or you can just get home on your own. Which is, I mean, the walled city. Most people stay in Boca Grande, so the walled city is probably not even 5 minutes away, so it's not far. Let's see here, Anika. Okay, I went to the walled city and took pictures with the fruit ladies. Yeah, did they hassle you for money? Because that's what they're there for. I actually danced with one of the fruit ladies, and I know I have a YouTube video on that. So if you check out my YouTube videos on Cartagena, yeah, I danced with one of the fruit ladies, and yeah, it's usually Cartagena's. There are a lot of people out there that they want to get paid. So if you do little things like that, it's just kind of like the people who play music for you, things like that. They're going to want a tip. So just be careful, be prepared. I should say, don't be careful. Just be prepared. Man, I do really like Delta. Let's see. Oh, I took a boat for a day trip to Rosarito Island. Oh, so you did the Rosarito Island. I wanted to actually go there. The island that we went to was Isla something or other. I can't remember the name. There's a video I just posted. I had to repost it because for whatever reason it wasn't on my thing, but I just reposted it a couple weeks ago. But the island that I went to, it was okay, but it wasn't that nice. It didn't have like the real nice white sand and the blue water. Okay, well, nice to have guys message you. Oh, you're the only ones there. Massage you, okay. I took taxis, an hour tour booked Rosarito. Okay. Yeah, so Nika's saying you had to tip the fruit ladies. Yeah, they were. Everybody wants tips. You have these guys walking around that do rap and they'll rap for you and stuff like that, but they're gonna want a tip. And then you'll have just people everywhere. Like Cartagena has a lot of people trying to sell you things. It's very, very common there. It's common everywhere, but it's very, very common in Cartagena. It's like overwhelming. And Nika's talking about coconut rice. So that's one thing, and I forgot to talk about that. That's like a huge. And I was really happy. It's sad, but I was really happy in Medellin because they had coconut rice there. I went to a fish place, and that's the one I did the video on, the review of that place, and they had the coconut rice. That stuff is so good. Like, you have to taste that. And I know it's not just in Colombia. It's probably other places too. But yeah, it's amazing. It's like, so it's just rice. It has coconut in it, and it has like raisins in it. It doesn't sound good, but when you have it, oh God, it's good because it's like sweet. It's like sweet rice. Man, it's very good. Okay, I don't know how I missed the. Okay, so and Nika's talking about seeing all the black people. She likes seeing all the black people in Colombia. And this was a shock to me. And the first time I went to Colombia in 2008, you get out there, especially if you're in Cartagena, if you're in Barranquilla, if you're in one of the coastal areas, you see a lot. There are a lot of black people there, and even in Medellin, you have a lot of black people. And I think the U.S., I think we're at like 12 or 15%, and Colombia is like right underneath us when it comes to black populations. So yes, you do have a lot of people, black people in Colombia. And I guess I could talk about, I know someone asked a question earlier on just about, let's see, what was that question? So just my experience as a black man in Colombia. So I didn't really see any different. Like I didn't see, not knowing the language, I guess, is hard too. Like, because you don't really know how people are responding to you or what have you. But I didn't really see anything like, any like racism or anything. You do have a lot of black people there, and you have a lot of mixed couples, and you'll have like families that are like mixed families, where you have, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but, and I guess it's kind of like in the U.S. too, where you have like, mixed families. Yeah, I didn't feel any like discrimination or racism or anything like that. And I felt good the whole time that I was there. There was no issue when it came to that. At least I didn't feel that way. I don't know about you, Nika, what your experience was, but yeah, I didn't feel anything different or anything like that. But I was like, the first time that I went, I was kind of shocked. Like, wow, there are a lot of black people, a lot of black people out here in Cartagena, like in Colombia, period. But in Cartagena, I was like, wow, okay, that's something that I didn't really expect. I didn't do my research, so I didn't know much. But when I got there, that's something that I didn't really expect to see a lot of black people in Colombia or in Cartagena. Let's see. Oh, I didn't have raisins. Also, Nick is saying that hers didn't have raisins. The coconut rice. Yeah, the one that I had raisins in it. I think all of the ones that I've had. I can't remember the ones that I had when I was in Cartagena. Let's see. Yeah, same here. Beautiful people. Felt good. Yeah, it's. Let's see here. Yeah, you need to edit your videos, Nika, and put them out there so we can see them. But yeah, I had a good time. Like, Colombia is, and you guys all know, like I keep talking about Colombia all the time. That's why I wanted to do a live stream just talking about Colombia, because I find myself in the other streams talking about it so much that maybe I should just have like a day where I talk about it, answer all the questions, get it all out, and then I can go back to the travel credit cards and all this other stuff. And then if you might have a question on that day, and I can just kind of talk a little bit about it. But other destinations where I want to go, as far as Colombia, I want to go to, well, let's see where I've been first. I've been to Bogota, I've been to Cartagena, I've been to Barranquilla, and I've been to Medellin. So those are the 4 places that I've been. I want to go to Santa Marta. So my next trip to Barranquilla will probably be next year for Carnival. And then on that trip, I'll probably go out to Santa Marta for a couple of days. And I also want to go to, I want to go to Choco, but I need to figure out another trip for that place. Cause I think I always want to end up back in Medellin. So go to a place and then end up back in Medellin, then go to a place and end up back in Medellin. I don't know why. I think ultimately I want to learn as much as I can about Medellin, because that's probably a place that I'll spend a lot of time when I retire. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. But I do want to experience some other places in Colombia, and there's so many different places to experience. But I do want to kind of go back to Medellin and start working out details on how I can make it possible to spend time there, buying property, that kind of stuff. So that's why I want to go back to Medellin. So more for fun, but business as well. So Cali, Colombia is another place I want to go. So I will definitely do that. Probably, I don't know. I really don't know, because I'll be going back to Medellin in August, and then back to Medellin again next year in March this time. Not this time, but in March. And then, I don't know. We'll have to fit Cali in somewhere. But I definitely want to go there as well. And then there's some other places too. They have, like, they call it like the Blood River or something like that. It's a river that changes colors. You have to go at the right time of the year though. I want to go there because I definitely want to take pictures there. But that's a little, that's on the outskirts. And I have to really do my research, because I think you have to take one of these little puddle jumper planes to get there. So we'll have to do some more research with that, because I don't want to get in any crazy situation where I'm in some plane that's I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. So you guys have any questions? Any questions? Please put it in the chat. And if you guys are in here and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button so we can get some more people in here. And let's see. So Nika, it looks like you had a really good time there, and you liked it. I'm glad you liked it, because I would have felt a little responsible. Not that I like made you go there, but the fact that I was like really pumping it up. Go to Cartagena or go to Medellin, and so you actually went and you had a good time. So that's good. And you should go back. I don't know if you're interested in going back, but definitely go. If you go back, definitely go to Medellin. Just go there. You'll have a good time. It's not one of those places where it's right by the water, so you're not going to be able to do that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of stuff there that you can do, and there's a lot of nightlife where you can go. And what I really like about Medellin, if you want to compare the two, Medellin and Cartagena, is Medellin is just they're at a higher level when it comes to their technology and their infrastructure and all that. So it feels like home to me. Like it feels like living in the U.S. And so Cartagena, not so much. Although some of, like in Boca Grande and some of those areas, they have that really nice mall at the Hyatt, that Hyatt building. So they do have some nice stuff there. But like overall, like when you go to Medellin overall, like when you look at the whole city, they have a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of, it's a very comfortable place. Like if I'm looking at a place to live, like long term, it would be a very comfortable place to live, because they have the good internet, they have the nice huge malls and all that kind of stuff. All the things that you have in the U.S., they have that stuff out there. All right, let's see. And was there anything else I wanted to touch on here? Yeah, so any other questions? What did you say about Brazil? I need to edit my Brazil video. Okay, so when did you go to Brazil? 'Cause I just thought about that. Brazil video, when did you go to Brazil? Yeah, so Nika's got to edit her Brazil video. And another thing too, I didn't talk about, well, when it comes to Medellin. So just be prepared. You're going to have to kind of set yourself up. And this is just my advice coming from the airport. So when you fly in, you're going to fly into the airport, obviously. When you get out, when you get your bags and everything, and you come to a cab, because you're going to have to catch a cab. You can't catch, I won't say you can't catch Uber, but Uber's not legal in Colombia. So you'll have Uber drivers, but for one, you're not going to have they're not going to have a Uber sticker or anything in the window. So you're not going to know that they're Uber. But you can still get on your app and you can try to order an Uber up. They really regulate who comes in and out of the airport. And so they might not even be able to come into the airport. I think the last time I was there, they weren't even able to come into the airport. So in most situations, you're just going to have to catch a cab, which is not bad because it's not that expensive, but it'll probably be your most expensive. Well, actually, it is kind of expensive. It'll be your most expensive taxi. And it's generally, I want to say 70 70,000 pesos, or 70 mil. That's about how much it's going to cost. And that's about 25 bucks, something like that. So, or maybe a little bit more than that. So that's kind of where you're going to be. 70,000, or between 70 and 75,000, what you're going to pay. So that, but it's about a 45-minute ride. So it's not a quick, like, Medellin is not right next to the airport. So they're going to have to take you down the hill. So you'll be up in the valley, or you'll be up in the hills, and then you'll come down into the valley, and then you'll be in Medellin. So just be prepared for that. It does cost a little bit of money. When I first heard them tell me 70,000 pesos, I'm thinking, what? I'm in Colombia. Like, this is supposed to be cheap. Why is it 70,000 pesos? And I had a guy kind of school me up and tell me, hey, look, yeah, it's about 45 minutes away, so it's not right around the corner. 70,000 is kind of like the standard. That's what I mean, they don't have a lot of the taxis don't have meters, or they don't use their meters. So that was just a quote. Like, it's usually about 70,000. As a matter of fact, when I came in this last time, I had a driver come pick me up, and it was 75,000. But I didn't complain, or I mean, basically, the guy that usually takes me around, he wasn't able to make it because they have restrictions. There's so many cars on the road. I don't know, it's weird. There are a lot of cars on the road. There is a lot of traffic, but it's still, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem as bad as it is out here in Southern California. Like, if it's rush hour, I'm going to work, it's pretty bad. Whereas there, it didn't seem like it was as bad. You have a lot of taxis. You don't have a lot of personal vehicles. You have a lot of transportation vehicles. But anyway, so certain times of the week, like let's say it's 2 days out of the week, you can only drive, like, depending on what your license plate numbers are, you can only drive a certain amount, like between 5:30 and 7, you can't drive your vehicle, or something like that. And they have cameras that will pick up if you're driving and then give you a ticket. So he was in that range, because I got there a little late, and so he wasn't able to come pick me up. So he had one of his buddies, and they all work for like a transportation company. So he had one of his buddies come pick me up. So yeah, he charged me 75,000. But I was like, whatever, just get me to where I'm going. And it's one of those deals where he's coming to pick me up, like, whatever. All right, so let's see, Nika, what are we saying? I heard it takes 2 hours to go through customs on Cartagena and breeze through on Bogota. It was 11 at night, though. Let's see. I heard it takes 2 hours to go through customs on in Cartagena. Did it take? Are you saying you heard that it took 2 hours? Yeah, it didn't take me very long when I was there, but a breeze through on Bogota, or breeze through in Bogota. It was 11 at night, though. Yeah, I haven't had any like real issues. Like I did put out a video when I got to Barranquilla, and they did stop me, and they checked my bag, but I had like all my camera. Like, I had a suitcase, carry-on luggage, full-on luggage with all my camera stuff. So they did check it, but that was it. But it didn't take long at all. Like, I was able to just walk in and walk out. If I go back, I'll go to Bogota and Medellin. Yeah, you got to go to Medellin. You'll have fun there. That's a good place, especially if you like food. Like, you're a foodie person, you like different types of food, like high. Like, you can go. They have some restaurants out there that are really good, and like really high-end restaurants. But you go in there and you're only spending $10 for the meal, whereas if you were in the U.S., you'd be spending like $40 or $50. So yeah, they have some really nice places, especially in El Poblado. If you go to El Poblado, you're going to go to some of the real high-end restaurants there. But they have other restaurants too, don't get me wrong. So El Poblado, you have everything, but you can go to like some of the nicest restaurants in Colombia, or not in Colombia, in Medellin. Okay, so yeah, just be prepared for that. Come to the airport. You're gonna pay probably about between $22 to $27 just to get down to Medellin. But once you're there, everything, and like you can order up Uber if you once you get to El Poblado. I really like, and I've said this before. I'm not a big fan. Like I don't mind Uber in the U.S., but when I'm in another country, and I know it's not legal to actually get an Uber, it's not that serious because cab rides, for the most part, you're gonna pay anywhere from $3 to $5, and that's it. Like pretty much anywhere you want to go. Coming from Laureles, going to Parque Lleras, so in El Poblado, it was it was like how much was it? Now that I'm thinking about it, it was like $4.50, $5, and that's at night. That's at like the peak time, like you're going out to a club, and so I get the cab. Yeah, it was like $4.50 or $5, so it wasn't that much. So it's not bad. And so my thing is, when it comes to Uber, okay, how much cheaper is Uber? Is it like $3? Okay, so I'm saving a couple of bucks, but then you're also getting in a situation where you could be stopped, and there could be some that person could get in trouble for that whole thing. So. They could get in trouble, and then you're doing something illegal as well. So you might, I don't know. So, and Nika, did you take Uber when you were there? I love Uber. I used it the whole time in Brazil, but it was legal. I used it in Egypt too. I like Uber because I can use my car instead of my cash. Your card. Okay. Yeah. Did you use it in Colombia though? I was just curious. And it's, that is good. The fact that you can use your card, so you don't have to use your cash. But I don't know. I'm okay with the cab. If I know it's not legal, I'm okay with the cab. If it's legal, then I would look into it. And I had this. This is funny. I'm actually embarrassed to show this video, so I don't know if I'm going to put it out. But I was totally just whatever. So I'm still learning Spanish. I'm not fluent at all, and so I go up to a cab, and he's telling me how much it is. So I ask him how much it is. ¿Cuánto cuesta? He says 12, and I'm thinking 12, 2. It can't be 2, so it's probably 20. So I'm thinking he's saying 12. I'm thinking he's saying 20. And I said, 12, and I always do the same thing, kind of like I'm trying to work it down, right? So I'm trying to get a better deal. But instead of getting a better deal, I tell him 15, which is 15. And so this guy's, and he didn't miss a beat though. He was like, so I said, no, 15. No, he's like, 12. No, 15. And he was like, okay. So instead of paying 12, which is what I should have paid, I ended up paying 15. So I bid him up. It was ridiculous. Whatever. So I have it on video, and I'm really embarrassed. I have to figure out how, because it's really funny. Like looking back now, it's like really funny. But it was ridiculous. Like, and that will never happen again. But the funny part about it is, this is when I was in, I believe this is when I was in Barranquilla. So I took a cab to Carnival, and it was 15. And so on my way back, I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be 15 again. And when he said 12, I'm thinking, oh, he's saying 20. This can't be 20. It's 15. It was 15 before. And so he's like, okay. Thank you very much. Took my money and ran. But, I mean, in all honesty, it was what? So he wanted 12. So he wanted 12. I gave him 15. So that was 3,000. So it was $1. It was $1. He got $1 extra out of me. The gringo price. Oh man, yeah, that was hilarious. And I didn't even realize I did it. Obviously, if I realized I did, I wouldn't have given him the money. But I didn't realize I did it until I was watching the videos later, and I'm like, what What did I just do? What an idiot. Oh, man. Oh, God, things happen. All right, if you guys are in here, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Nika, you're saying what? Rio and Sao Paulo, New Year's Eve. Have you been there on New Year's Eve? Because I want to go somewhere for New Year's Eve, actually. I don't know. Cartagena has a real big New Year's Eve. Actually, Christmas time in Colombia is really, really popular as well. They have a lot of things going on. But for New Year's Eve, I hear that like in Cartagena, it's really nice. They have fireworks and all that good stuff. The funny thing is, like, I live near a large city. I live right near Los Angeles, and Los Angeles, very rare. They don't do much. You have New York. You have the big stuff going on in New York. Los Angeles, they don't do anything. Even San Francisco does a little bit, right? Like I think in San Francisco they have a little something going on, but LA, yeah, there's nothing going on. So, yeah, I definitely want to go somewhere for the New Year, but I don't know if I'll do 3 trips to Colombia in 1 year. Well, I guess technically, yeah, but it would still be 1 year, and then yeah, go on the 31st, leave on the 1st or the 2nd, so it'll still be into the new year. Okay, perfect recreation skills. Yeah, I need to work on my Spanish though. That was funny. I'm gonna find a way to put that video out. Like, I'll put it in something. I'll make a whole what not to do in Colombia. That was ridiculous. And he tried to talk me out of it, but like, I'm trying to haggle with him, and I'm not exactly understanding what he's saying, and yeah, it didn't work. Oh, Dubai is amazing for New Year's Eve. Dubai is a place I want to go to as well. Yeah, I definitely want to go there too. Let's see. How'd you like New York? Let's see. Rio was the best, hands down, for New Year's. Okay. And Carnival too. Carnival in Rio. That's another place I want. I won't go this next year because I already have it set that I want to go to Barranquilla. But Carnival in Rio, I've seen some videos, and now comparing those videos to what I've actually seen in real person in Barranquilla, like, whoo, yeah. There's a reason why they're the most popular carnival in the world, because they really do it up. Like, really do a good job. New York sucked because we couldn't even get into Times Square. Couldn't see anything. I guess you have to be there early in the morning and stay there. Yeah, see, I can't do all that. So she's just talking about New Year's Eve in New Year's in New York. I think at the end of this year, I'll do Hong Kong. Oh, wow, that'd be nice too. So, Nika, if I remember correctly, you work for an airline, or is that why you travel so much? Or is it you just have a lot of money? Or you just have a lot of points or something? Let's see. Yeah, New York is better on TV. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's really cold in New York. I don't want to be... Yeah, I'm from California. We don't do cold well. Let's see. People show up right there. Let's camp out. Yeah, it's not worth it. The only thing people camp out for in California is like the Rose Parade, which we'll see what Medellin has to. I mean, I'm sure this Medellin thing, it will be really nice. Like, that's why I'm going in August. It's a flower festival, so it's a big old parade. I want to go to another parade and take pictures and stuff. That's the main reason I'm going. Plus, there's going to be a few people from our travel group that will be going as well. So we'll all hang out and go to the clubs and stuff like that. And that's a funny thing. Like, and I think what really pushes it over the top, like when people say, well, why do you like Colombia so much? Why do you like Colombia so much? It's the fact that you can go places, have a really good time, and not spend a lot of money. And you can't do that in the U.S. anymore. You can't. I can't go to a nice restaurant. Let's say there's 3 or 4 of us. We go to a nice restaurant. We eat a nice meal, drink as much as we want, and get out of there for less than $100. You can do that in Colombia. 3 people, no problem. You go in there, eat. Your meal is going to be $10, maybe 15 at most, but that's like an expensive meal. And then your drinks, it's like $1.50 a drink, and you get out of there and it's like, wow, this is crazy. Or you go to a club and you get bottle service. Bottle service is like $3, or not $3. I'm sorry. Bottle service is like $30 compared to if you're in the U.S. and you get bottle service, it's like over $100. That's cheap, but like if you get like the big bottles and all that, you're paying $1,000, whatever, between people. But yeah, you can get there $30, $40 for a couple of bottles. I mean, it's the same alcohol. Like, you even go into I went to Éxito to buy some alcohol because I had company over and we were going to hang out and drink and watch TV and stuff like that. And we went in there and it's like, dang, this stuff it's not cheap, but it's not as expensive as it is in the U.S. And some of the stuff was the same. They have Budweiser. They have all the like beers and stuff that we drink. And they have some of the hard liquor that we drink, but it was cheaper. And it's getting sent from the U.S. I didn't get it. But anyway, yeah. Things are a lot cheaper there. So you can go and you can have a really good time, and you're not spending that much money. So that's one thing that I really like about it too, because there's not like, for me, there's no difference in if I'm in Medellin or if I'm in Los Angeles and I decide to go out to a restaurant and then go to a club, and it's the same. Like I don't see like a real difference. Like, oh, this is, I don't feel like I'm in, I don't even know how to say that. Like, it's the same. It's the same. That's all I can say. The food is just as good. You have the alcohol. You have all that stuff. You're at a club. The clubs are, high-end clubs, so they have all the, the things that a high-end club would have. And you walk out of there and you haven't spent anything. You spend like $40 and you're thinking, wow, I had a really good time. I only spent $40. Whereas you spend $150 in LA going to the clubs and stuff. Now, not all the clubs are that way. Like I did go to a couple of clubs in El Poblado where the drinks were ridiculously priced. Like, and ridiculous it was like $9 for a drink. That's like U.S. prices. That's in the highly, like, the tourist area where people are used to spending $9 for a drink. But that's in certain clubs. It's not in a lot of the clubs. Most of the clubs the prices are a lot less. But some of the clubs you go to where it's just all Americans, yeah, they're going to hike those prices up. Let's see. Okay, missed a few here. 10 minutes away from New York. Okay. Brazil is doing away with the visa for U.S. citizens. Yes, they are, Nika. And they always had that. It was like an e-visa or whatever they had, but you had to pay a little extra in order to get that visa. So they are doing away with that. Brazil is. So that's good. That's good to hear. So it'll probably, more people will probably be going to Brazil. I definitely want to go there in the future. I just have to kind of set aside some, I don't want to say set aside some time, but I have to kind of strategically figure that out. And yeah, I got to coordinate with my friends. Let's just put it that way. Because that's one place I wouldn't go by myself, especially for the first time. I definitely would want to go with someone. So I have to figure that out. Let's see. Yeah, I went to New York for New Year's. It was a nightmare. HD chill in New York is overrated, and for New Year's. I live here, trust me. Camping in the snow in Times Square does not sound like fun. Yeah. Okay, airline cubicle dweller. That's cool. But do you get free flights because you work for the airline? Is that how it works? Because if that is the case, then we need to be friends. No, I'm just kidding. I got my points. I can get there. Tech Ops, Black Ops, flying everywhere. The bottle service in New York. Our mortgages. That guy's saying that. Yeah, bottle service is like costs as much as your mortgage. Jeremy, I really want to go to Italy. Or wait, I really want to do Italy. I do as well. I want to go to Italy, and I should have. If I would have planned things right when I went to Paris, I should have gone to Italy as well. I just didn't. I didn't plan things right. I had the opportunity, and I was close, and so I should have done it. But at the time, I just didn't. That was like my first real solo trip. That was my first solo trip. Outside of, actually, I take that back. I did go to Puerto Rico. That was my first solo trip. But Paris was like kind of my first out of the country solo trip. And so I should have set something up in Italy. And knowing now, like I could have taken a train. I didn't have to fly. I could have taken a train. So I won't let that happen again. If I'm ever close to Italy, I'm definitely going there. If not, going to Italy and then going to some other places near Italy. So let's see. Yeah, she chilling, locals. Like, why we want to go there, Times Square. Let's see. I went there. Oh, I went that year Mariah Carey performed and bombed her performance. What? Group trip to Dubai. Yeah, fly Etihad. Yeah, Etihad. Yeah, if I can fly business class or first class on Etihad, I would do that in a heartbeat. Yes, free and cheap flights. That's cool. That's cool, Nika, that you're able to do that. That's one of the perks, I guess, for working for an airline. My flight to Bogota was $70 round trip. Wow. We have to pay taxes and fees. Cool. So you get to save all your points, fly for free, pretty much, taxes and fees. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Maybe when I retire, I'll work for an airline or something. Let's see. Image wire. Can you rent a car in Colombia? You can. You can. I don't know all the specifics about renting cars in Colombia. I will tell you, I wouldn't rent a car in Colombia. They drive very aggressive, very aggressive. Probably the most aggressive between Colombia and Costa Rica. They're the most aggressive drivers that, like, as far as the places that I've traveled to. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been to Thailand, but for me, Thailand was like the exact opposite. Like they were very, very laid back. Not laid back, but they weren't aggressive at all. The drivers in Thailand, in my experience in Phuket, they were just very, very careful drivers. But, and I won't say at Colombia they're not careful. They're very good drivers, but they are very aggressive and they're up on you. Like, you know, any little space that they can get into, they're gonna push up on you. If you're walking, like crosswalks don't mean anything out there. Like they'll have a crosswalk, but that doesn't mean that, you know, in the U.S. when we step off into the crosswalk, people will stop and wait for us. They don't do that in Colombia. They will, if they have time to get, you know, to drive in front of you before you get there, they'll do it. They're not gonna hit you. So if you're walking out and they see you, they're going to come up right up on you and stop right in front of you. They're not going to give you any space. They're going to stop right in front of you to see if you're going to stop, and then they'll keep going. Or if you're not going to stop, then they'll stop right in front of you and then let you walk. But they are very, very, very aggressive. So I wouldn't recommend driving, like renting a car. And for the most part, you don't really need to in most areas. Now, most cities. So if you're in Medellin, you don't need it. You don't need to rent a car. If you are in Cartagena, you don't need a car. Barranquilla, when I was there, yeah, you don't need a car. Although Barranquilla, there was a lot less traffic, and this was during Carnival. So I can imagine if it wasn't Carnival, it's probably really not a lot of traffic. So if I were to drive a car, if I were to rent a car, it would probably be in Barranquilla because there was just it was a little less cars on the road. But yeah, you don't need a Medellin. especially Medellin, you have a really good metro system. So if you want to use the metro, you can take the metro all over the city. So that's good. And then you just take the cabs. I'm telling you, it's like $4, $5 to go wherever you want to go. And what I like about cabs and stuff, I don't have to, like, all I need to do is tell them where I need to go, and they'll take me. And it's not like if you rent a car, then now you have to where am I going to park? How am I going to get to where I'm going? All that good stuff. No. And then in the Laureles area that I was talking about earlier, that area in Laureles, you're able to you're able to you can rent a bike if you want. It's like $1 an hour or something. And you can take a bike and ride to different areas. And you have like, and I was a little apprehensive about riding a bike, but then after I saw that they have like dedicated bike lanes with dedicated bike signals, then I was a little more like, okay, yeah, this could work. Like you get on your bike, and you still have to watch, you have to pay attention, but you have like the right of way, or you have your own lane, and it's blocked off. Like they have a little divider in between the cars and you. For the most part, not everywhere, but for the most part, they'll have the dividers in between. Then you'll have your little bike lane signal, so you can go and all that good stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. And I put a video out on YouTube about that, renting a car in Colombia, and we almost got in an accident. It would have been a bad one, and it wasn't our fault. This was last year. We're riding along. It's a 2-lane highway or 1-lane highway. However, there's cars going one way, cars coming back the other way, and so we're going, and there's a car behind us, and that car wanted to go past us. So they pass on the left a lot in Colombia, and so we're here. There's a big dump truck in front of us, and this car wants to pass, and so there's a car coming this way, but we couldn't see it, and obviously he couldn't see it either. And so he jumped out, and he comes up to where he's side by side with us. And then this car starts to come, and instead of him slowing down and kind of backing up and getting behind us, he speeds up and cuts us off to get in front. Well, he judged it just perfectly, because he was maybe a foot away from hitting that car in front of us. And it would have been ugly, because he would have hit that car, swerved over and hit us, and yeah, it would have been ugly. And we were going fast. We were probably going 50 miles an hour, 45, 50 miles an hour. And so he was able, and I have it on video, so he was able to just kind of squeeze right in front of us. And even when he squeezed in, he was still rocking, because he turned that fast. He's like, you see the car kind of rock back and forth. And then the other guy came through. And the funny thing is, like, looking back at the video, and I happened to, like, the reason I have video of it is because I was just, like, I have a magnet. It's a magnet with a little tripod on it. I have an action camera, and I was just putting that up on the hood. And everywhere we were going, I just had this thing on the hood just so I can get, like, footage. Probably not the smartest thing to do. If you're when I was in like big cities, when I was where there were a lot of people around, I took it down, or I had my hand up there. Even though it was on a magnet, I still had my hand up there. But it's not the smartest thing to do, because you have guys on motorcycles that can drive right or ride right by, and let's say they have a tandem. They have a lot of guys on tandem motorcycles. Although in Cartagena, I just found out that they're not allowed to have the tandems. I don't know, Nika, if you saw this, but from what I was told, they're not allowed to have two people on a motorcycle. But unless they're like the police. The police they go in tandems. But so they can ride along. You have tandem, and the guys can ride the motorcycle, and the other guy just can reach up, grab that off the top of the vehicle, and just take off. And action cameras cost what? $300, $350, and that is minimum wage. Like a minimum wage salary for the month is $350, around that. So you can imagine, like, You think about, like, I don't know what our average minimum wage is, but just think of that average minimum wage for the whole month. Like, that's what that's worth. So anyway, I don't even know where I was going with my story, but yeah, as far as renting cars, yeah, you're probably better off just doing the cabs, unless you really know the area, and maybe if you're living in a smaller, or if you're staying in a smaller city, where there are not a lot of people around and stuff like that. And I don't know the rules either. Some places, like in Costa Rica, I was going to rent a car in Costa Rica, but they had some crazy rules, and the insurance was just all weird, where we had to put like a deposit down, and it wasn't worth it. Let's see. Nika, domestic is usually free. Wow, that's good. Yeah, because like taxes and fees for domestic is like $11 or something like that, $11.50. So it's not very much. Okay, Nika, you're so lucky. I am jealous. Let's see. That's amazing price, Glad. You're making good. Yeah, that is really good. And so you use your points for a hotel, so that's cool. So yeah, you have a pretty good setup there. I use points too. So Nika, and if I ever say anything bad about the airline that you work for, you don't have to tell us, but I apologize. But yeah, I probably have said some bad things about your airline. But you know what? It's good. It's actually good that you're on here, Nika, because you can get the information from us. So don't tell us where you work, but you can get that information from us, and then you can go back to, go back to your airline and say, yeah, you know what? They were talking about this, and that. Maybe you guys should do this, and that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Let's see. Check out my YouTube Weekend Roamers. I'm going to put videos up soon. Yes, we will check it out. Post your link, and so if people are in here, they can go ahead and go over there and subscribe to your channel. But yeah, we'll definitely check it out. And Nika, join our Facebook group if you haven't already done so. I don't know if you've gotten in there yet. And you can post your links there too, as far as your video, once your video releases. Let's see. Red lights and crosswalks are suggestions. That guy's saying that. Yeah, it's crazy, and you have to get used to it too. Like as a pedestrian, because in the U.S., like we expect that when we're walking. I remember it was the same way when I was in Paris, and yeah, it's people they will just go right in front of you. Like things that in the U.S. we would get mad about, like if we're a pedestrian and we're walking, and there's a red light and you step into the crosswalk, like you're at a signal and you step into the crosswalk, and you can go ahead and walk, and you'll have a car that'll just come up to you and they don't stop and they just cut right in front of you. That's the kind of stuff people get mad about in the U.S. It's normal, everyday stuff in other countries. Like they could care less that you're walking out in the crosswalk. You need to wait for them. And there was I've been watching, like, so what I do is I shoot video like all day, all the time. I have my video camera on because I don't want to miss anything. So I'll just shoot all this footage. So I have a lot of B-roll and all that. And so it takes me a while to kind of go through all my videos, and so I start going through videos, and I just see things. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that guy almost hit me, and stuff like that. Yeah, they do not care. That's a cool idea. Cameras on a magnet. Yeah, it works. I've been using it. I actually didn't use it on this last trip, but of course I asked for permission. I don't just like put a magnet on top of someone's roof, and it has like a padding on, like a rubber. It's rubber. It's like rubberized. It has a magnet on the inside, and you just put it on there. You don't have to put it on the top. You can put it down on the side too, and just have a little action camera, and it gets all these nice little angles and stuff. It's pretty cool. Just don't take them to China because they will take them from you. Like I learned the hard way when I was on my. And this is how bad it was. I flew out there to Thailand. I was fine. I went through China, so you had to go to China. Anytime you go into China, my experience, the times that I went into China, they always send you back through security. So they sent me through security on my way in, no problem. They sent me through security on my way back, and they found out that those things were magnets. I had 2 of them, and they took them from me. And I'm like, and they're not that expensive. They're like $30. But I was like, oh, you gotta take it, really? Okay. Okay, so Nick is saying I rented a car in Israel and Iceland. I don't really like renting cars. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of renting cars either. Like, there's some people, like, and David was in here and he was talking about, yeah, I like to stay at a hotel as opposed to Airbnb, and I get that. But I'm okay with Airbnbs. What I don't like, because some people think, like, oh, yeah, I want to feel like I'm on vacation, right? I want to feel like I don't want to have to clean my space, my living space or whatever. I don't have to wash clothes. For me, I don't mind that kind of stuff. What I don't want to do is I don't want to drive. That's my thing. Like, I don't want to drive. So that's kind of vacation for me. Being able to go somewhere and not have to drive and just get in the car and say, hey, can you take me here? And then they take you there. Yeah, that's vacation to me. But the other things, like washing my clothes, I don't mind doing that because I know that I was able to carry less, so it's worth it. So I don't mind having to wash my clothes, iron my clothes, pick up after myself and at the Airbnb and stuff like that. Oh God, people hate my airline. So I know what airline you work for already then. I won't say it, but I know. Because there are only a few different airlines that people hate that go to Colombia. So, yeah. Let's see, TEC, what do you think of the Canon EOS 5D? Which 5D? Which one are you talking about, Jeremy? Because the 5D Mark IV is the one that's out right now. Unless they released a new one I don't know about. Let's see, Nika. I work in tech ops. Engine overhaul and repair. Engine overhaul and repair? Yeah, I guess that's kind of a serious thing. Considering they're plane engines. Yeah, I'm in the group. I'll post. Yeah, so Nika, just go ahead and post when you have a video. Just post it up on there, and we'll get you some views there. Overhaul. So overhaul is like, why don't they just get a new engine instead of overhauling an old engine? I'm not comfortable with this now. Why don't they just get a new one? I don't want an overhauled engine. Just like I don't want retreaded tires. Yeah, just get rid of that old engine and give me a new one. Oh. Hey. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, it's funny though, but yeah, there are only certain airlines I know that go to Colombia. And I think I told you this story, but I met a few flight attendants from this airline that you probably work for that went to Colombia, and I was surprised, like, wow, they go to Colombia? Sure enough, every time I go to Colombia, I always see the planes there. All right, do you guys have any other questions or comments? I think we went through everything. Jeremy was asking about the 5D. I'll tell you real quick just about the 5D Mark IV. Well, I can't really tell you about the 5D Mark IV because I don't have the 5D Mark IV. I never bought that one. I did get the 5D Mark III. I like that camera. I liked it. I had it for probably about 3 years. And then I was ready to upgrade. And let's see. Sorry that we hate your airline, Nika. Hey, I don't hate your airline, Nika. I I've never flown on your airline, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. You guys have nice flight attendants. Like I said, I met 2 flight attendants there. They were very nice. They're my friends today, at least on Facebook. But hey, you get free flights. It's all good. Shoot, I'll work for the worst airline. You give me good flights. Uh, um, so as far as the 5D is concerned, yeah, I had the 5D Mark III. I got to a point where I was looking at getting a new camera. They had the 5D Mark IV out, and they had the Sony A7R III. And I didn't like the technology with 5D, so that's why I just didn't go with them. I went with Sony. I switched all my gear over. So I guess I can kind of tell you how I feel about it. Canon makes really good cameras, though. It's just Canon is very, in my opinion, Canon doesn't. They don't invest, or not invest. They hold back. Canon holds back a lot of their technology, and I hate that. I hate that. And all companies will do it. When I say hold back, basically what they'll do is they'll have the technology there. Like they've already got the good autofocus and this and this and that. So they'll have the technology, but they won't put it all in one camera because they know in a couple of years they're going to release another camera, so they're going to hold off a little bit, and they won't give you all that good technology. So they won't give you the fastest frames per second. They'll give you 7 frames per second on this camera, and then they'll wait, and then they'll give you 9 frames per second on another camera, and then they'll wait, and then they'll give you 11 frames per second on another camera when they already have that technology. And so they kind of do that. I don't like that. All camera companies do that, but I notice that Sony will release a lot of their technology. They'll release because they do camera releases a lot faster. Everything. They usually do camera releases a lot faster. They were doing it for a while when the mirrorless cameras first came out. They were releasing a new camera every year. Now they're kind of slowing down a little bit. The A7, the A7S III, they've been waiting on that one, which is really bugging me. But usually they release cameras a lot faster, and they have some real good technology every time they release something. That's the reason that's the problem that I have with the Mark IV, the Canon 5D Mark IV. They release the camera and it's like, okay, what else? Like, what do you have anything else? So it didn't have the latest and greatest technology. So I wasn't really that happy with it. And so, and when I say latest and greatest, compared to everything else. So you have other cameras out there. You have the Sonys. You have Nikon, the D850. That camera is an amazing camera. And then you have the Sony A7R III, and those cameras were arguably the best cameras that year. And then you had the Canon 5D Mark IV, and it's like, this camera's not even in the same league as these two cameras, but yet they're the same price range. So that's the issue that I have with Canon. So we'll see the Mark V. Hopefully they put something out there that's good, but they kind of have put a lot of money into the EOS R and the EOS RP, the new mirrorless cameras that they have, and those kind of were a flop. So, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people that were upset with those two cameras. So a lot of professional photographers were pretty upset with the cameras, and the lenses were very expensive. So this is a big investment. Like, if you make a camera and it's not that good, and then you have lenses that are very expensive, yeah, it's not a good deal. So that's my opinion of the Mark IV. I personally wouldn't purchase it, and definitely I wouldn't purchase it now. I would wait to see what the 5D Mark V is going to be, or going to look like. But yeah, that's just kind of my feeling about the Canon systems. Let's see, Nika, I need a new camera, full frame, because I have the A6000. You don't need a full frame. The A6000 is a good camera. It's a crop sensor, but it's a good camera. It's basically, what do you need it for? Like, are you doing like professional stuff? Like, I tell people, hey, you don't need full frame unless you're going to be shooting like professional stuff. because you're going to pay that full frame price, and you're going to want to pay it. And the full frame price, you're going to start at $3,000 and work your way up. 3200 is kind of the standard. I mean, you'll have some cheaper cameras, but I wouldn't want to buy a cheap end. I wouldn't want to buy the Canon 6D full frame. It's like $2,000. I wouldn't want to buy that. I would buy, and because it's the low end full frame Canon camera, less like bells and whistles. So I wouldn't buy the 6D. I would buy the 5D, but the 5D is going to be 3200, whereas the 6D is going to be like 2400 or so. As well as like even, but actually Sony has a mirrorless, the Sony A7 III. Good camera. That's a good, I would buy that one. That's entry level full frame for Sony. But that's a good one. It has really good technology. Like I said, Sony, they put out a lot of their good stuff. Some of the technology in the A7 III is better than the technology that I have in the A7R III, and I paid $1,300 more for the camera for the camera that I have compared to the A7 III. But the A7 III was released after. So Sony's not afraid to do that, where other camera makers are. So yeah, but Nika, if you're interested in like professional photography, then like yeah, full frame would be great. But if you want just to take pictures on your trips and stuff like that, you really don't need it. If you have the money, then yeah, sure, buy it. But you can get a lot of good cameras out, especially like, so you have the A6000. They have the A6400 that they just released. A very good camera. It has a little flip screen, so you can do your little selfies and all that good stuff. That's not a bad camera. They have the A6500, which is a good camera. And these are Sony's. And then Sony will be releasing the A7000, which I'm looking at getting that camera. And that's not going to be full frame. It's going to be a crop sensor. But if the specs are good on that camera, then I'll probably pick one of those up. Because I want something, I love the camera that I have, but I don't always need to use that camera. I don't always need to take that camera. I'm fine with taking a crop sensor camera as long as it's a good camera, and taking on a trip. I'm talking about mainly. The only, like, I don't like having to take my big camera every time I go places, because that's the only real camera that I have for like photography. I have the Panasonic G7, but it's not good for photography. It's good for video, but that's it. Let's see. I'll buy used because they're so expensive. Yeah, or just get crop sensor. I'm telling you, because this is the problem with, I don't buy used cameras. I'll buy a used lens, but I won't buy a used camera because you don't know what's happened to that camera. It could have been dropped, had some issues. They send it back to the factory. They fix it, and then they send it back, and then someone sells it on eBay. So you don't really know, and then you don't get the same warranty when you buy it. So, and in a lot of situations, you're not saving that much. So I personally would just buy a new one, but you don't need to get full frame. There's so many cameras out there. If you tell me your price range, I could tell you kind of, hey, this is a good camera to consider. Let's see. Emirates Airlines is like no other. Business class is a must. Yeah, so anything over 15 hours, yeah, I would definitely need business class for that. But ImageWire, yeah, I would like to fly in Emirates. So, and I think, but you have to kind of be going to Dubai and stuff like that to fly there. So I'm gonna have to take that trip, and that would probably be the one trip that I do, like the one big trip, because I don't see like going to South America and Central America as a big trip, but going overseas, going to Europe and stuff like that, that's kind of a big trip, and I like to do at least one a year. I don't know if I'll make one big one this year, only because I'm already going to Hawaii in June, and then I'm going to back to Colombia in August. So I'll do one more trip, but I don't know if it's going to be like a overseas trip. Okay, Nika, sorry. I flew on them 3 times from CAK to MCO. I just had a bad experience. So let's see, bad experience 3 times. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna stick up for Nika now. But I've had bad flights on all the different airlines that I've been on. You have at least one or two bad flights. I think the price hikes are like the hidden fees, that kind of thing, is what really upsets people about certain airlines. So that's what I think. That's where people get a little upset, because you pay money for the flight, and then you get these little extra fees and stuff, baggage fees and all that. And I know most flights will give you, they have like baggage fees, but some airlines they're ridiculous when it comes to their fees. Yeah, and Nika said, maybe I need to learn how to use it better. You also need better lenses too. Lenses will change a lot when it comes to photography. So it's not necessarily the camera body, because you can get camera bodies like, you can get a variety of different camera bodies, but if you have nice lenses, like I on yesterday's show, I was talking about just some of the lenses that I use, 70 to 200, and that's an expensive lens, but 70 to 200, you can get those used. Like I would buy a used lens only because lenses are very durable, and you can see if a lens, for the most part, you can see if a lens has issues. Like you can see a scratch on it or something on the lens element. Then you know, okay, yeah, this lens is no good. But lenses are pretty durable, and they will last a long time. And they're not a lot of moving parts, mechanical stuff in the lens. So they're pretty safe to buy used, I'm saying. Let's see, maybe I need to learn more. I went down to economy, and it was a zoo. So economy and Emirates was a zoo? Too close together, huh? Martha HW, AWW, that's cool. That follow out. Okay, Jeremy. I got the 50mm prime. Is that a 1 point? What is the 50mm on there? I think it's a 2.8. See, now that 50mm, if you get the 50mm 1 point, what do they have? 1.8? If you can get a 50mm, oh, it's a 50mm 1.8. That's a good lens. You should be able to just take amazing pictures with that. Yeah, and it's lighting too. So you work on the lighting and you'll be good. But the 50mm 1.8 is good. You can jump up and try to get a 1.4, something that's 1.4, like a 24mm 1.4. 85mm is the portrait lens. So like if you go traveling, you want to take pictures, or you want to have like someone take a picture of you and your friends and all that, then throw that lens on there, have them step back, put it at 2.8 and set everything up, and it should be a nice shot. But lighting is very important too. So and just a quick story about lighting, like the easiest way, like most people think you need to take pictures in sunlight, like direct sunlight. That's the worst, especially for women. The worst place to take pictures. You don't want to take pictures in direct sunlight. So direct sunlight, I'm facing, like, you guys can't see my light, but I have a light right here. If I'm facing the light, and this is a soft light because I have like a box over it, so it makes it soft. But the sun in the sky is very small, so it gives off harsh light. It would be just like a flashlight. You know, this flashlight has a little small element, so when you shine it on you, it's like really harsh light. Well, the sun's the same thing. Even though the sun is huge, it's so far away, it's a small speck in the sky, and so it's giving you like harsh light. So you don't want to shoot in direct sunlight. You want to shoot in shade. So you find a shady spot, and that's where you want to take a picture. And you also want to, if you can, go next to a building. And this is like if you don't have a flash or anything like that, go next to a building. So let's say the building is here, the sun is coming from the top right here, right? So the sun is shining down onto the building, and then it's casting shade right here. So if I'm standing right here, I'm in the shade. And then when it's casting shade, you're gonna have a line. So you're gonna have the shade from where the shade is and where the sun is. If you put your toes right on that line, it'll be amazing. You'll get an amazing light. If you're standing on concrete, mainly you want to stand on concrete. So if you stand on that line, because what's going to happen is you're in shade, but if you're standing on that line, the sun is bouncing off the concrete and up into your face. And for women, like if you can fill in, the areas like under your eyes, all that, if you can fill that in with like uplight, and that's why like when you see like model shoots and stuff like that, you'll see they might have flash, but then they'll have that reflector, and they're walking around with this reflector and they have it kind of down like this. You're like, what are they doing with that thing? Well, they're bouncing light back into her face from underneath. Okay, so you have the sunlight coming from the top. If you're shooting in shade, she should be in shade. Hopefully, you're shooting from the sunlight from the top, and then you're bouncing that light back up into her face, and it's good light. So that's what you want to do. Just something to think about. So it's not like and I used to think this too, but everybody thinks, oh yeah, when I go and I want to take a picture, I want to take a picture with a nice background, right? For the most part, you want to take a picture where the light is right, not where the background is the nice background. Because what a lot of people do, especially like in Cartagena, I'm sure you guys did this, it's sunset and you guys say, oh, I want to take a picture of the sunset. So you stand in front of the sunset, the sun's going down, and you're taking pictures and you're like coming out dark and you're thinking, what the hell is going on? Why am I dark? And most cameras now, they're pretty smart. They realize, okay, they're trying to take a picture of the sunset, or they even have that little feature in the camera, and it will flip the flash up and give you flash, because it knows if I'm taking a picture and the sun is in my shot, even though if the sun is setting, if it's in my shot, it's gonna expose for the sun, so it will drop down the shutter, and I'm gonna come out dark. But the sun, you'll see the sunset, but I'm gonna be dark. So that's why they push that flash in there. So like if you're ever taking a picture of the sunset, you need to have flash. If you don't have flash, you're not gonna get the shot that you want. Or what you can do is you can wait. And actually, this doesn't even, well, it might work where you can kind of balance it. So you wait until the sun actually sets, and then the clouds turn all these different colors, and then you can take some shots there. But you still have to raise your exposure up to balance everything, and so the sunset will still be kind of blown out a little bit. So, all right, we've jumped into photography. Let's see, it's too close though. It's too close. What do you mean? Oh, for like a selfie? Yeah, it would be too close for a selfie. But if people stand, like if someone's taking a picture of you, you know, it should be fine. It's a dream at night. Yes, it's a very good lens at night. If you put it at 1.8, you can take some really good shots. Yeah, just selfie. You're not gonna do it. You need a 24 millimeter f 1.8, 1.4. Whatever you can find. You don't have to get Sony. You can buy third party. You can buy Sigma. Sigma makes some really good lenses for the crop sensor cameras. Another thing you need to think about too, if you want to jump to full frame, you're going to pay more for your lenses. Like right now, you can buy any lens with a crop sensor camera. So any Sony lens that's out there, you can buy, and it will work. But when you jump to full frame, the crop sensor, you have certain lenses that are designed only for crop sensors. So for the A6000, A6400, A6500, they're designed for those cameras. So you can't use it in full frame. If you use it in full frame, you're going to have vignettes on the side. So it'll be shady on the four corners, so it won't look right. So that's another good thing about APS-C. You can just use the crop sensor. You can just use whatever lenses you want when it comes to Sony, and they're cheaper. Let's see. Shooting in shade. Yeah, shooting in shade, it really works. But the way it will work the best is if you're standing on the shade line. If you're standing on that in the shade on that line and there's concrete on the bottom, you'll take some good shots. So don't worry too much about what's in back of you. Like obviously don't make it like really you want to be able to take pictures of something that's not all messed up, like a like a torn down building or a big trash can or something. But try to position yourself like that, or even if the wall's here and you're standing right here, and maybe it's the end of the wall, so you kind of stand at the corner and you still have the shade that you're in, and you're standing on that line, and then kind of shoot in a direction. Then you can get a good shot that way as well. Let's see, Martha, how you doing? G7X model Canon, yes. Great night sensor, yes. That camera's good. That's like a vlogger's camera. A lot of vloggers use that camera. A lot of YouTubers use that, or they used to use a camera. But yeah, that's a good camera. But very, very compact, so you can take it anywhere, and it shoots a good video. But the only thing, it's good, but I would want, for me personally, I would want a little bit more. Like, even I have this is kind of the competition for it, the LX10 Panasonic. Kind of the same thing where it has a little flip up screen and all that good stuff. This one broke, so it's not saying much for it, but it was still a good camera when I used it. Let's see, but yeah, the G7X, I don't think it's not 4K yet, and I don't know, like, whatever, I'm on 4K, like everything 4K. I want to do everything in 4K, so that's kind of what I look for in a camera. 4K, 60 frames per second. So Martha, her Lumix Panasonic is good too. Yes, and I just showed you this Lumix. It's a good, okay, so this camera is good, and I'll tell you how it broke. I had it in my pocket, and the switch on here to turn it on and off, it's easy to turn it on and off. And so it turned on in my pocket, and the lens was trying to open up, and it couldn't because it was in my pocket. And so it messed something up in there. So after I took it out, I tried to turn it back on, and it would kind of hunt around, try to find a focus, and then it would say lens error. So I need to take it back to the shop. But Lumix makes, like, the Panasonic G7 is what I'm using right now to shoot this video. That's an excellent camera for sit down stuff like this. 4K, 30 frames per second. It's an amazing camera. The autofocus is not good on it though. So if you are out and you want to do kind of like selfies, walk around, or even if you want to focus on different things, it has contrast autofocus, which is not the best. It struggles. It does struggle. So I don't like that. But it's perfect for this setup, and I just leave this camera here. Like, I don't take it anywhere with me unless I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, I will take it, just because I usually set up like a kind of a, not like a full-on studio, but kind of a little studio setup, so I can sit down and kind of do like my diary of the day, right? And then I'll put the videos together and all that. And I shot that this way when I was in Colombia. Like, I still have a bunch of videos that I haven't put out. I think I only put out one video where I was doing the sit down thing. But they do make good cameras. They're very reasonably priced. $600 for the Lumix Panasonic G7. The G85 is somewhere around $800, $900, and that's with a lens. The G85, the difference between the G85 and the G7 is the G85 has image stabilization in body. The G7 doesn't. So image stabilization is something you probably want to get if you're going to be walking around, definitely. Nika, yeah, I want nice backgrounds. Yeah, and the thing, okay, so Nika, the thing with backgrounds too, especially if you're using a 1.8, you're using that 50mm lens, you're not going to be able to really make out the background anyway. It's going to be blurry unless you're standing right next to it. Just like even the background here that you're seeing, I mean, it's relatively blurry if you look at it, but that's at f2.8, so you're at f1.8, so yours would be even blurrier than that. It'd be twice the blur, or almost, no, 3 times the blur of what we're seeing here. And I'm right. I mean, this is what, 4 feet, 3 feet away from me. So yeah, the backgrounds, you're not really gonna make it out if it's a really blurry shot. But what you want, like ideally what you want is you want to just blur it all out. And that's like, let me pull up my I was showing pictures yesterday. I'll show you what professionals are trying to get when they take pictures. And I'm only saying this because when I shoot weddings, there are certain pictures that I really try to get, and that's where I'm completely knock out the background, where it's just completely blurry. So I focus on the subject and I blow out the background. Like, where's that? There's a lady that I took a picture of, and that background was just completely gone. Where is that picture? There's a few different ones, but I wanted to find that one. Oh. And of course, this always happens. So this is a good one here. So let's wait for it to load. It'll come sometime. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. Like, I want to completely blow this out, and so you can't even make out, like, I mean, you can see they're people, but they're completely blurred. You can't see any expression, like their expressions or anything like that. So that's what you want. And this was at f2.8. They happened to be far enough away. I was using the zoom lens, 70 to 200. I had it zoomed into 200. And so when you have a zoom lens, you're compressing your image. And so when you compress that image, even if it's at 2.8, you can really throw that background off. So that's what you're trying to get with the, so what I'm saying is, if you're standing next to a building and you happen to be far enough away, like you're standing, not right next to a building, obviously, but if you're standing a little ways away, I'd say 15 feet, like these people, you see the size, like you see her size and you see he's probably a little bit taller than her, but he's not more than maybe 10 feet, at most 15 feet away from her. So he's not that far away from her. But yeah, it just, you totally can blow the background out like that. That's kind of that's what photographers look for. That's what I look for when I'm taking pictures. But you have to get a close shot. So it's going to have to be like up close, where it's like a chest up shot or something like that, where you can just blow it out and you can't make out what's in the background. It's good. It's good to do the shots like that because it makes you focus on what the subject is, right? There's no question of where the subject is. You know exactly where the subject is. You're looking at the subject. There's nothing else that's distracting you from this picture. And you see she's standing there. This girl's behind her. She's probably 7, 8 feet behind her. So I was able to just really throw it out. So you don't have to be that far. And, you know, that's kind of the way you want it when it comes to the backgrounds. And this is another one. You just try to blow it out if you can. So, let's see. Oh, this is the lady that I was talking about here. So this one, I really blew this one out. So like, you can't tell what's going on back there at all. Like, this is a fence. I can kind of make out that that's a fence. These are people that are completely gone. Like, completely, it's bokeh. They're just gone out of the picture. Okay. I want nice backgrounds. Yeah. And then a lot of people do like I said, you do the sunset shots. Those are fine. But for the most part, you need a flash, and you're not really going to get the real good sunset shot. You're really not, unless you have a really nice flash. And the flash, you would want it off camera. You don't want it on your camera. So there's a lot. Like, you see some of these pictures they think, oh, these are easy to do. No, they're not. They're hard. They're actually pretty detailed to take a real good sunset shot. And you need to be able to balance, like to balance the light to where my flash doesn't overpower the whole scene. So you look at it and you don't really know if it's a flash or not. You see that there's light coming somewhere. It doesn't really make sense because the sun's behind you. But you want to balance it so it looks like a natural scene. It doesn't look like it's like I just threw flash in there on the background. Or threw flash on the subject and then had the sun set in the background. Okay, I use my cell phone a lot because my sisters are terrible at taking my pictures sometimes on my camera. Yeah, cell phones are good. They're definitely good. In good light, cell phones will do a really good job. And you see now, like with the newer cell phones, what are they trying to do? They're trying to do this. They're trying to blur out the background, so they'll have like that feature. I know iPhone has it. Samsung phones have it. Well, they have this feature where you can blur the background out a little bit more. I don't know exactly how it works. I think it takes like the pixels around the subject and keeps it, but then the rest of the picture it just blurs it out more. So they're trying to simulate what these cameras can do, like a regular camera can do. Martha, Sony mirrorless is the upgrade I'm going for next. I meant to comment earlier that Cali residents start also. Wait, so Cali residents start also hate rain. So you're saying that Cali residents, I don't know if I'm understanding what you're saying. Are you talking about Cali like California, or are you talking about Cali like Cali, Colombia? Yeah, so in Sony, what do you have right now? You have that Canon G7, I think you said. G7X. Yeah, if you want to stay, or, well, basically anything, well, not anything. If you get the Sony RX100 Mark IV or Mark V, I think they have Mark V now. That's like similar to the G7X, but it's a little more expensive. I think it's in the thousands now. I think it's like $1,200 the last time I checked for that camera, but it's the same size, a small little point and shoot camera. But if you want to go with Sony mirrorless, like a little bit bigger, like the A6000 like Nika has, that's a good camera, as well as you can move up. I would go, like, if I'm buying a new camera, it'd probably be the A6400. That's the newest technology that Sony has put out so far in that size camera. Then they're going to release the A7000, which will have better specs. So mirrorless, great shot, and then Nika said her phone died. All right. Okay, so any other questions or anything else that you guys want to talk about? And like I said, or maybe I didn't say it, I will be talking a lot more about Colombia. Like I'll do like a stream that's just about Colombia. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button for me. And if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. And as well as our Facebook group where we talk about travel. So if you are interested in travel, interested in good deals, Nika can get you some cheap tickets, all that good stuff. Just join the group. And you know what did I hear? Yeah, I think I did hear about airline or people working for airlines that were selling like their vouchers or whatever. I don't I don't know what airline it was, but I think I did overhear that last week, something like that. Yeah, but join the group. I just posted a link for the Facebook group. We're getting more and more people in there, so it's great. And the more and more people we get in, there's already a lot of people talking about different things and helping each other out. And I think it's a great platform. When I started with travel and stuff like that, that's what I went to. Like I went to some of these groups, and I was looking at, just because I was trying to learn, and I was doing the whole points and all that. And with points, the big thing about points is it's easy to get them. I won't say it's easy to get a credit card, but if your credit's good, then you can get a credit card. You can use the credit card. I didn't have any problem using it, just like using a debit card, right? But when it comes to getting your points, once you get your bonus, your sign-up bonus, and you're thinking, okay, well, what do I do with these points? And so I was jumping on the Facebook groups and all that, trying to figure out how to use the points and figure out where I should go and all that good stuff. So I think it's a great. The reason why I think it's great to like have a Facebook group is you can always revert back to it. And that's one of the things that I liked. I like videos, like YouTube videos and things like that talk about travel, and like live streams like this. But the only thing is, you have to remember, like you could save the video to your favorites, I guess, but you have to remember, oh, it was this video, and then go to the video, and then go down in the description and find the link. Well, if you're on Facebook, the links are all right there. Like I can even post a video on Facebook. So you have the video if you want to watch the video, but then you also have the links and stuff like that to what we were talking about. So anything else, guys? Any other questions? Any other concerns? Any other comments? Do you guys have any issues about my background? Any comments about my background? I keep going to this because it's kind of new to me, and I'm still working on things. I think I have the background kind of the way that I want it, but I also need to set up. I kind of have a desk sitting next to me, which I need to streamline that and just have it. What am I like? They have the little laptop tables, so I'm gonna get a laptop table for this. It's just too much stuff that I have here, so I want to have it just a little more portable. So I don't have to always have it here. So Jeremy saying it was United that they were selling their vouchers. I knew it was one of these airlines. United, good old United, huh? Ugh. So, and I don't know how they were doing it. I don't know how it works when you get these tickets. I guess Nika would probably be better at telling us that. But yeah, I don't know how it works when you get these vouchers and stuff to fly for free. They were selling their routes to other flight. Oh, selling their routes. So like probably seniority. So it's probably like a seniority thing where they have seniority. So they were then selling those routes to other people, so they can fly to different places. Because like the flight attendants with the most seniority are probably going to all the nice places, right? Oh, I'm gonna go to Hawaii. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to Colombia. Or whatever, you know what I mean? So they're gonna go to all the nice destinations so they can hang out there, as opposed to going to places that are not highly sought after to fly to. So wow, I wonder how much they were selling them for too. That would be interesting to know. Like, oh, you want to go to Hawaii? Okay, that'll be $200. Wow, that's too bad. And I wonder if they fire them for that. I don't know if that's something that you get fired over. Now, I know if you lie, you would probably get fired over it. But, yeah. Because it's wrong. I'm sure it's against their policy. But I'm sure this has been going on for a while. And what if it's not money? What if it's like, oh, you know what? I'll make you dinner one night. Or I'll do this. Or like, we're friends, right? And you've been to this place before, and you guys are both flight attendants, and you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to you if you let me have this, or kind of barter different things. Yeah, that's weird. So, all right. Let's see. Anything else? If there's nothing else, then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys stopping by. This was an impromptu. Just jump on here and do something. Please hit the like button now if you guys haven't done so. Yeah, this was more of an impromptu. Just jump on. I know it's late. It's like, oh wow, it's 11 o'clock. Goodness, that's right. I started at 8. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna need to go because it's late on the East Coast. That's for sure. Yeah, I just want to do an impromptu one, and we're going to figure something out. But yeah, I'm always going to talk about the travel credit cards. That's always going to be one of our live streams. And then just the travel in general will be another live stream. And maybe I will kind of mix the two with travel, like Sunday, maybe mix it with photography and travel. I don't know. But I do want to I have excuse me, a group of people who like Colombia stuff. So I want to talk about that, and maybe not just talk about Colombia all the time, but in the future kind of branch out to some other popular destinations that I've been to and that I can talk about, and then have guests too. I'm still working on that. I'd love to have like Skype calls and have like a guest on here, and they can talk about their experience. So people that are on here right now, you can talk about, yeah, you know what, I've gone here and this is how I did it, and this is what I did. So I'm working out that as well. So, and when I say working it out, I'm like working out how to do it, how to do it, because I'm still relatively new with the streaming. So it's taken me a little while to kind of figure out everything. And for me, I don't know if you noticed, but I do like to have something that looks good. I don't want to have it just you can get on Google Hangouts and just have people on there. That's not too hard. But I still want to have all the other little stuff on there. When you do Google Hangouts, it's pretty much just the Hangout. You can't add different things. I can't flip different screens like this. Have the desktop and all that good stuff. I can't do that. I can't have my little end screen here with the music playing and all that. I can't do all that. So that's why I'm looking into doing like a Skype call, because a Skype call will give me the opportunity to bring a new screen into what I'm already using. So, Jeremy, what are we saying? I like United. I just wish they could stop getting bad PR. I feel like every week we are hearing something bad about them. Yeah, and I like United too. I mean, they're the best for my ecosystem right now. They're the best thing that I have as far as transferring my points. So, yeah, I like them. But I think all these airlines, they it just rotates. You know, you'll have bad press. They'll all get bad press at some point. But United, yeah, they do get some bad press. They do, that's for sure. International flight attendants get paid more than domestic flight attendants. So an international flight attendant would sell her ticket to a domestic flight attendant so she can have the longer route. Oh, okay, I see. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, everybody's trying to. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, okay, so I am gonna take off. Like I said, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and anytime. So join the Facebook group. I'm gonna put it up one last time. So if you're in here and you haven't done so, please join the Facebook group, and we'll accept you in. And anytime I'm going to put out a live stream, I'll put it on the Facebook group first so you guys will know. Any videos that I put out, YouTube videos that I put out that are just, like a regular video, which I will be putting out a Parqueyetis one within the next. I was going to finish it tonight, but since it's so late, I'm probably not going to finish it until tomorrow. So I probably won't put it out until 2 days, maybe Thursday morning or something like that. So yeah, but all that information will be on the Facebook group. So jump in the Facebook group and you'll get that. And if you do subscribe to my channel here, then just hit that little bell icon. That way you'll get notified as well when I put it out there. All right. So thank you guys all for stopping by, and thank you for all your participation. I appreciate it. And that's all I have for you guys. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.